Welcome back to another episode of the Otter Players Podcast, where this week we'll talk about our most anticipated titles for the Tokyo Game Show and things we want to see. What are some of the tropes some of our favorite genres use that we believe need to be ditched in order for these titles to evolve within the genre, optimization issues within the industry, and more. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump straight into it. Weeb, how are you, man, and what have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been playing a bit light on gaming this week because of some circumstances. Plus, I had sort of an anime itch that need to scratch, so I've been watching a lot of anime,
Okay.
uh, including some anime I already watched because but you sometimes dive into the rabbit hole when you're seeing, oh yeah, I remembered I'd never watched the last uh the last
Couple
season of
episodes. Yeah.
Rio, and then I realized, oh yeah, and then I thought, oh yeah, but this is pretty much just a prequel to the War on Gemini, so I'm gonna watch that, and that's but I remember that Tenchi Muyo GXB is actually really fun, so I rewatched that one again. So yeah, then and then your week is almost over. Um, yep. But I did finish Cobra, the anime game, the Metroidvania I was playing last week. Yeah, it's a pretty well done adaptation. They made the right choice to make it a Metroidvania game. Um, I did in parallel also decide to watch the anime just to see how they adapted it. I mean, they literally use cutscenes from the anime, but I probably a lot of the voice actors aren't around anymore. This is a pretty old anime, so they changed the voice actor so they could sort of change the dialogue here and there to fit the gameplay, and of course having in-game dialogue that was spoken.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they did a pretty good job. I mean, some of the bosses are a bit annoying. So they have like too many phases that keep going on, and it can be pretty frustrating if you don't figure out. So generally, it's just one of those bosses where you're probably gonna beat them with like an inch of your life left. So it's mostly sheer luck. Like if you manage to actually succeed in doing it, since their attacks tend to be random, and sometimes you need to have the luck of the draw, where you're getting a couple of easy to dodge attacks, and then next time they're going to give you extremely annoying a combination of attacks that are almost impossible to dodge, and just take chunks out of your health until you're to basically almost dead. um but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, so I do recommend it if you're a fan of the anime, or Metroidvania fan. It's a solid title. Also played the demo for Dispatch on Steam, because I
Nice.
heard it was coming in October. Remembered, I hadn't played it yet,
Yeah.
and yeah, I did generally like it. Like it's the sort of the quality of the writing, um, the setting, uh, the humor in there. Definitely. Definitely putting it on my radar. I guess the only drawback is, guess it's not, it doesn't have a physical release, and it's an episode title. Um, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. Even the actual gameplay, where you have to dispatch superheroes between quotation marks, where you just have to pick the right ones for certain missions, and that's sort of continuously going on. Like, it's not that you're just have a mission and then move on, see the results and move on to the next one, but you're having missions popping up all across the map, and you have to make decisions on which one you should send there based on the criteria of the mission and their stats. But like there are pretty fun things where like you have one guy who has fire powers but is also a pyromaniac, so he literally just starts fires on his own and you have to send somebody else there to extinguish them.
Oh my
Um,
god.
so yeah, I do like the characters and the gameplay is also pretty fun. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned about is because you do have to when your characters level up, you can sort of improve their stats in particular areas, but because it's episodal, you won't really have like an optimal strategy until all episodes are released. So I don't know like if I make a decision now, if I come to regret it later, because I try to balance like the characters, like just sort of put in some tick marks in certain weak points I had, so I could send them on other missions that they currently weren't equipped for. But yeah, I do wonder if will be missions like later on where you need to be really high in a particular stat, and I'm like, then it might have been better to just maximize their strong points, right? So that's sort of the thing that I'm wondering, if you can actually, build an optimal strategy right from the get go. But other than that,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely like it, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. I think it's coming around the same time as Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming, but since it's just it's episodal, I'll probably be able to squeeze it in and then switch to Ninja Gaiden. And what else? Oh yeah, and also try the demo of the it's called the Sega All Star Otherworld Racing. I forgot the exact title. The Sega's answer to Mario Kart,
Yeah, the kart
which
racer.
was was interesting. It is. I mean, obviously taking a lot of inspiration from, it, but it is sort of different in the way that you have uh, you have rivals that are sort of competing with you that you basically push to beating them regardless of whether or not you're going to be number one in a race. There's more focus on you can do you know uh, stunts when you're in the air, which will give you speed boost. So it is slightly different from Mario Kart, but so I guess different enough to set apart. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna get it because it's a very busy release schedule. Like there's so many games out. And yeah, I also wasn't quite feeling it that it was like fun enough to just jump into that. Like I was interested based on the fact that there's going to use characters from all across the Sega portfolio, including I think the Yakuza series. But it does also have sort of that corniness that typical Sonic games have, where they have some cheesy dialogue that sort of takes you out of it a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'll might pick it up maybe when it's on sale or anything, or if I need a racing game that I can play. I guess co-op. But yeah, I mean, I'm good at this point with all the games that I still have in the backlog and are still coming. So that's Love and Play.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then to everybody's question, Morgan will be joining us later. She's currently with family right now, so she's gonna try to join us here in a little bit. Um, but yeah, that's what's up, man. Uh, Omar, how are you, sir, and what have you been playing?
So everyone, what have I been playing? For the most part, Borderlands, me and my brother, we've been gone home Borderlands all the way through. Level 45, I am around 40% in story-wise. We're now going all the way to level 50 and then do the side quest and everything between what me and you talk about. Other than that, I started the demo. So I played the demo for me and we finished. We played it. Which is Little Nightmares 3. Phenomenal demo. Sadly, it was literally the demo that we played. Maybe with some additional content. Besides that, like it absolutely prepared me for 3. Story, you don't play Little Nightmare for the story. I'm sorry, like la. It's just for the gameplay, it's for the aesthetic, it's for the jump scare, that stuff. What else? So literally today I started the demo for Demon X Machina, and I can say I'm surprisingly impressed by the demo. First of all, it's meaty in the sense of it has a lot of content. It basically reminds me of Forspoken when it comes to the amount of content it has. Basically, it starts off with a tutorial, then it throws you in an open world, and less open than Forspoken. And yeah, it to me so far it feels a less forgiving Souls game, if that makes any sense. And the mechanic all work. You can fly, you can speed blade, there are stats, you can be speedy, you can be focus on damage or focus on what we call it, armor. A story is a revenge story, revenge slash rescue mission so far. Also, you're basically a gladiator. That's what come down to in order to prove yourself and make money and all that jazz. So yeah, nothing too fancy about that. But the gameplay though, it's addictive, especially finding loot. When you kill enemies, there's a chance for loot to appear, and each loot it gives you the ability to choose between loot, which again something Souls game should take inspiration from, because that's significantly more cooler than one specific loot drop. But yeah, I'm rambling. But besides that, yeah, no. Now that I know Cobra is out, I've been looking to play something when my brother can play Borderlands. So yeah, I'm gonna play Cobra. That's it for me.
There we go. Yeah. So, yeah. Speaking of Little Nightmares, yeah, I definitely did end up playing that. Morgan sprang that one on me last night randomly.
She should. She absolutely should.
Yeah, she just kind of sent the invite and was like, I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? She's like, I was like, download the game. She's like, obviously. So, yeah, downloaded it, and then Priscilla watched us play that one. Um, so yeah, it wasn't like too long or anything, um, but it gave you a good idea of like how the game plays and stuff like that. Priscilla liked it because it was scary. But yeah, there's definitely some more
There are some
scary stuff
scary
happening.
elements.
Yeah, like there's definitely more scary things that are gonna happen later, based on the trailers and stuff that we've seen. Like they were only just now messing with you in the demo.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, that's been a lot of fun. That was cool. And then obviously Borderlands, a lot of it, as much as humanly possible, is the main thing. I'm still having a ball with that. Like I said, as opposed to all the issues you guys are hearing about on social media, so on and so forth, I am not really running into any issues, so I'm having a ball with it.
You're significantly lucky. I can't stress enough how lucky you are.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. It was the same thing with Cyberpunk, so knock on wood, it stays that way. The only thing I've had happen is like the next part of a quest didn't trigger after I killed everybody in the area, and all I did was go to the main menu and go back, and just killed everybody again, and then it triggered. So that was like the only random thing I've had, which happens in plenty of games. But yeah, like I said, enjoying that. Um, Still finishing up my playthrough on a few games. Obviously, Chronos: The New Dawn. Still playing through that on PC. Um, like I said, that's been pretty fun. I did get Priscilla to start it as well because she is a horror fan while I am not. Um, but it's a lot like Dead Space, so they both end up really enjoying that one. Um, Still finishing playing through the Coffee Talks, so it'll be interesting to see if Coffee Talk Tokyo ends up showing up at TGS, as it should. I mean, it's literally Coffee Talk Tokyo. Like I don't see how they wouldn't show up at TGS. Um, so that'd be interesting. And then I'm still coming towards the end of Super Robot Wars Y. This one feels way longer than the other ones prior. So, and I have no idea when I'm close to the end. Like I can see the only reason I know I'm kind of close is because uh, following kind of an overview for character recruitment and like mech recruitment. Um, so yeah, that's been obviously a lot of fun. That game does require 2 playthroughs for the platinum, so I will eventually do that. But getting towards the end of that, I'm getting towards the end of a couple of things. And then I did try the demo for the new Digimon game, which is
Oh,
really
you did.
it's really
Interesting. What you thought?
no, it's I mean it's really well done. Um, I did try the demo specifically on PS5 just to kind of solidify that I don't like their FPS choice. And yeah,
Boo.
and I was 100% right. I do not like the FPS choice that they made. Um, you know, locking it to 30
But
FPS.
I gotta ask, what does it make sense? Because it's literally turn-based,
It does
though.
not matter. I don't know why we think that we act like the game is not a picture book. It is a game. It moves, therefore the FPS matters. It's not about targeting things or something moving fast on the screen. 30 FPS is a visual headache with bad frame pacing. So no, it's not. Especially when I have the alternative to not play at a headache-inducing frame rate, then I'm not going to. So it's not about it being turn-based or not. So the frame rate is visible to me. I can see it, and it is irritating me and gives me a headache. So yes, that is a big issue for me. Again, like I've stated before, I've played games at 30 FPS. They have to have immaculate to perfect frame pacing, and I can't. It can't be something where I've switched from something that was higher at the time. They said it's rare that someone even does it. Horizon Forbidden West was the last one, and the moment the 40 plus FPS mode came out with VRR, I never went back. So, yeah, it like I said, 30. It honestly over time it seems like 30 becomes less and less playable for me and bothers me more and more, especially when there's alternatives like 40 plus FPS VRR unlocked. Much prefer that. Like I said, and like I said, the biggest reason for me, on top of that, even if it didn't bother me like that, um, with the headache and stuff, again, it's the principle of the matter. There's literally, like, people, as much as people are arguing about Borderlands and optimization issues, there is literally not a single iota of a reason on this entire planet why Digimon does not run 60 FPS. And that is just not, no one can argue that. You can look at that game and tell that game could run on PS4 perfectly fine. There is zero reason that game does not run at 60 FPS minimum.
So why do you think it didn't? It's not.
I mean, they said that was their choice. That's all they said. That's all I can believe. They said they made the choice to run it at 30. I don't know if that was something where they didn't want to create separate modes. They didn't want to create a separate mode between it and maybe the Series S version or whatever. But whatever the reason, they decided during development to lock the consoles to 30, which is ridiculous. Like I said, I'd respect the decision. If it was like, if we were talking about something that looked like Dying Light the Beast or something, then sure, you got to mute yourself. Then sure. But I mean, the game literally just looks like a video game cartoon. Like, it looks good, but there's nothing crazy demanding happening on the screen. Again, unlike people are arguing with Borderlands and so on and so forth. Like, Borderlands has a ton of loot and explosions and, particle effects all over the damn place, untethered co-op, a bunch of stuff. Generating a massive open world and all this other stuff. And then this game has none of that. Looks, like I said, like a cartoon, and then they're like 30 FPS. So, like I said, even if it wasn't bothering me, it'd be the principle of the thing. And the fact that, I can easily play it on PC at 60 plus FPS. So, but yeah, I think that's it for the most part. I did try the Trails in the Sky first demo as well. Honestly, I can't really get into it so far. I think I explained to somebody, I think I'm just more interested in playing a bunch of other games right now. And I know how much of an investment the Trail series is. And I'm not really invested in learning the combat right now. It feels kind of chaotic to me between them basically trying to give people both worlds. They're trying to be like, hey, if you want to go turn-based, you can. If you want to be action, you can. And it's kind of messy. But like I said, a lot of people are going crazy over it on social media and having a ball with it, and that's their main focus. So once I've got some of this, current stuff on my plate down, and I feel like I can actually focus on it, see if I really like it, then I'll get back to it. But yeah, it's too much going on for me right now. Playing a bunch of other games. Then of course, Ghost of Yote is coming up shortly, which is definitely a priority tier 1 game. And I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm forgetting, like Final Fantasy Tactics and so on and so forth. So there's still a metric ton of games coming that a lot of people are looking forward to. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But
I kind of get you on the combat, because that's also the thing that kind of I didn't know what to think of it. Yeah, that this mix with real time and turn based.
Yeah, it's kind of like I felt like it clearly wanted me to do one or the other at one point, and then other times, like, because they constantly encourage you almost like switching back and forth between the two. But then, like, again, it just creates chaos because you're like, your strategies are designed around working a certain way. And it just, it was weird. It felt like almost like, again, like they're trying to give you the illusion of choice, but then certain moves or skill sets, they're like, oh no, if you want to do that, you 100% need to like play the action variant of the game. So it was really throwing me off.
Yeah. Same. I didn't know what were you expecting me. Is it choice? Is it, when do you have to use what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Pick one, exactly. Yeah. It definitely felt like they were really trying to bridge that gap, and it just didn't quite work. But they said a lot of people. I don't know. I more so have to see it from the point of view of someone who has not played the Trail series, because honestly, I feel like. I can't trust most Trails fans nowadays. Like they feel kind of indoctrinated to like love everything Trails. So it's like asking them is like I feel like you're not gonna really get an honest opinion. Like they're gonna be like, "What do you mean? It's the first in the series. Of course I love it."
I gotta get an honest opinion from Kofi. He would be honest with me about that, even if he is a fan of. He is one of the biggest fan of the series. He literally taught himself Japanese just to play the game and be ahead of everyone else. So I'm curious what his opinion is going to be, especially as him being such a turn-based fan.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the game forced you to play both ways?
It just feels weird. Like I said, it feels like it wants to let you know it's a choice. And then at certain instances, it feels like it forces you. So the game just feels confused, like it's confused about its combat system. You have to play it to really get it.
you got all that from the demo alone. Interesting. I should
I
try
mean,
the demo then.
the demo's like 6 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a job and a half. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. The only reason I even entertained it after hearing that is because you can transfer your save file. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a long ass demo, though. So, but yeah, we'll see. Um, Speaking of Tokyo or things of that nature, or things that come from Japan, upcoming we do have the Tokyo Game Show this coming week. Obviously, we saw a lot of really good stuff last year. Microsoft had a really good show last year at TGS. Of course, the show floor with PlayStation returning and so on and so forth. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty eventful week. Want to see what are you guys kind of wanting to see? What are you guys hoping to see, either from the show floor or some of the showcases? Weeb.
Yeah, wanting to see versus what you're gonna get, because I do I know that with Tokyo Game Show you do need to temper your expectations, because it's gonna usually be a lot of fluff, a lot of talking heads, a lot of typical Japanese talk shows basically,
Yeah.
and not a lot of new trailers, new games. So yeah, I know. What I'm most interested in is basically what's happening before the show, which is the RGG showcase, because
Okay.
I want to see more of Stranger Than Heaven, the new IP for RGG Studio, which looks amazing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of that, and of course, get some more information about the concrete release date. There's also rumors of a Kiwami 3 coming, so Yakuza Kiwami 3, or Like a Dragon Kiwami 3, I guess. So yeah, that seems to be almost confirmed. So it will be interesting to see that. Thing is, like,
It,
yeah. Go
it's
ahead.
Kiwami. Just I want to ask, as someone that's new to the Yakuza franchise. Well, yeah, I'm playing the fourth one now. Is Kiwami 3 a remake or a remaster of the new game?
Kiwami 3 would be a remake of 3.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which is sort of, I have complicated feelings about. Like, I get why they did that for 1 and 2, because those are PS2 titles,
Yeah.
but a PS3 title like still looks pretty good. Like that's why they remastered the games. Like they look fine. There are actually remasters. Omar, you have the Yakuza collection, where you can get 3, 4, and 5 in remastered format.
Yeah, I have that pack.
But yeah, I mean, and 3 is like, I have a complicated relationship with it, because it's the first one that I played, because that's when I got into the series. It's also probably the worst localized version, because they cut a lot of content from that one, which they restored with the remastered version. So that's definitely the one you want to play. But also had like the sort of weird story that clearly was inspired by 24. Like I think they thought, oh, that's cool. Let's integrate that into the franchise, and like yeah, like this is also where I have my problems with Infinite Wealth. Like, I like the Hawaii setting, but I hated when they introduce like American villains, because they always, of course, are when you're playing it in the Japanese.
Stereotype, right?
Well, yeah, stereotypes, and they're very bland. Like they're not they look like NPC characters rather than, okay, you
Which
had
is
Denny
crazy to me,
Trejo in it.
because some of
Yeah.
the best villains are from Yakuza 1, 2, 3. No, not 3, but in general. I can't say about 4
Yeah,
because
the ones you played, Omar, we know. but yeah, I mean, they had Danny Trejo in the last one as somebody, an known actor who they use their likeness, who looks has that mug, right? But then they didn't really flesh him out like a convincing character. So that's kind of the thing is that, and that's sort of the big bad, the guy who's behind everything in 3 is like the most blandest character you can imagine. Like, and that's sort of where I have some mixed feelings about that. Like, it also has like great secondary villains. Like that's true, because there are a bunch of secondary villains that are um, you know amazing. So it has sort of the uh, um, yeah. Again, like it's a game that got me into it, and it definitely there are no bad uh, Yakuza games. All of them are great, but as somebody who's played them, there's obviously there's obviously a tier list. There's obviously some that are above others. Like 3 would not be on my top list of the franchise. Like, you know 0, 6, 7 definitely will be on top of that list. But that's sort of the thing is with the series. Like they have always have great gameplay. They always have fantastic side stories, and it's just a matter of, does the main story like click. Like they have. I mean, talking about tropes, like 4 had like the most ridiculous tropes where they just kept on using a single gimmick that was sort of a plot point, and they kept using it over and over again. Where it's like, yeah, we get it now. Like, we get it that this is sort of a plot twist, but you keep using the same one over and over. So it's like somebody thought, oh, I can't get enough of this thing, so let's keep using it. Um, but yeah, I mean, that would be what my most anticipated thing of whatever surrounding Tokyo Game Show. I mean, other than that, like I mean, I know Annapurna has a show. I mean, they always produce great games, so I definitely will check that out.
Yeah.
But for the other ones, at least the lineups I've seen, like they're not there are no surprises there, and unless you want to speculate, on things that haven't been announced, or we might get. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like I would love if like after releasing Metal Gear, Solid Delta, hey, announce the remake of Metal Gear Solid, the first one. But I don't know if, or yeah, even better, give us, Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't even need a remake or anything.
Just
Just
get
just make a
just a
remaster
port, port remaster, yeah.
for the game. For the game, because I'm so itching to play that game again, but I can't be bothered to boot up my PS3, which is the only place you can play that game. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the only thing Konami has to do. Like, just tell us when are we gonna get the other Metal Gear games, because that's their one job.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing with Tokyo Game Show. They're generally not like they don't really have like this one more thing mentality as you have with uh, you know uh, you know American or Western shows. They're more like, oh yeah, look, this is a schedule, and we cannot deviate from this. So we it would be shameful if we dare to announce something that's not on the schedule. So yeah, I'm not gonna expect a lot of surprises there. Just seeing more stuff about games already announced. But generally, like they rarely show you, like, with Square Enix, like, yeah, you see, they have the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 pixel remake, or whatever, the 2D 2D remake.
Hmm.
That's yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. That I'm even 3, I think, which is already out, but But yeah, I'm much more interested in the 7 reimagined because that looks awesome, and I just pre-ordered the collector's edition. I mean that I was really going back and forth with it because it's like 250. Like I think, man, am I really gonna spend that much money on the collector's edition? But I mean that bottle ship looks so fucking cool, and that game looks that trailer looks so amazing. Like yes, I know we're all anticipating 12, which it's might at this point be the next Silk song, I guess, in terms of how
Yeah.
long we have to wait for it. But this is like this is sort of our comfort food. Like, okay, we're not gonna get that, but they're gonna reimagine 7. So yeah, so but that's something I would have liked to see more than what they have announced they're gonna show. So yeah, I mean, probably the RGG is going to be the one thing that's going to be interesting for me, and the rest is going to be I'll watch it, but there probably going to be a lot of stuff like I don't care. Capcom's going to have their show filled with Monster Hunter stuff. Like, yeah, look, if you like the franchise, cool, but it's not for me. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time on that. So yeah.
All right. Cool. No, that is a very reasonable, measured take about what's going to be there. No, so I'm with you on that. Uh, Omar, how are you feeling about TGS? What do you want to see? What are you hoping to see more of? If it's already been announced, or things that haven't been shown but we know might be there.
So maybe something for Square Enix. A new FF.
A new Final Fantasy, that would be crazy.
Too early, yeah, I
I
think.
mean, yeah, it definitely feels too early, but hey, look, maybe
Especially
they're
with
ready.
them talking, taking note with Acquisition 33 devs, and especially with that landlord wanted them to go back to turn based. It's too early for a new FF. Maybe FF7 Part 3? That's not early.
Okay.
I know they're working on the Xbox port and everything, and Nintendo Switch port, but like PS5 people should expect something unless they want to put 3 on everything at the same time, which in my opinion would be abysmal. Not because of console exclusive or whatsoever, because Square Enix are notoriously known to botch releases like that. Like if they can't even manage their own PC version.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
that would be good for them. Launching on
even
everything.
even even the PlayStation 5 version for 16 was on live support. So yeah. Other besides that, is PlayStation gonna show up or just on booth?
I mean, they plan to be there, but what they're going to show, we don't know. Supposedly, the state of play is supposed to take place during the week of TGS. So, I mean,
Okay,
it
so
would
then
be.
Intergalactic, what? Would it not be weird to showcase Intergalactic like that for the Japanese audience before showcasing it to the American audience? I'm talking
Well,
gameplay and everything in
they're
between.
not particularly showing it for them. They're showing it globally during the week of an event. So, yeah,
Okay, I get you.
I think they're more global than anything now. Like it's not going to be state of play the TGS event. It's going to just be a state of play taking place during that event, not like a Japanese specific focus one or something.
Wolverine, maybe?
Okay.
Like, at some point, PlayStation gotta start. I do expect some type of God of Yotei thing, either
Yeah.
a release trailer or some additional gameplay, maybe a demo. That's way too much hopeful thinking.
Hey, look,
Oh,
this
what?
is whatever you want. So hope as much as you
Yeah,
want.
Okay, whatever you want, then I want a Legend of Dragoon remake.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, you set it up, so you can't complain. Okay,
that
for
that
now,
hey,
going
that's
back.
that's more realistic than some of the stuff I've heard. So,
Uh, wait, you think Legend of Dragoon remake is more realistic than Intergalactic?
no, I said it's more realistic than some of the stuff I've heard. Someone actually someone said something that was from another publisher and was like, "Yeah, I want that game." And I
Okay,
was
say
like,
it. I
"Yeah,
wanna hear.
I was like, okay, that doesn't even make any sense. They don't even own that."
What? What? Wait.
I mean, I don't remember what it was. I just remember it was the wrong publisher. Like they wanted
Gotcha.
something from Square,
So,
but it
not gonna.
wasn't. Square doesn't make it, so it was just completely
Mm,
unrealistic.
gotcha. Maybe that horror game from Square Enix, I forgot what it's called. The one with the lady. Parasite Eve. Maybe a remake or a
Ah,
remaster for
Nah, see
Parasite Eve.
now we're talking. Yeah, now we're talking. Parasite Eve.
Uh, Also, we heard rumors of FF9 being cancelled, a remake being cancelled.
Oh no, that
So
would be crazy.
maybe that revived. Like at some point, Square Enix gotta, put some juice in their system. Other than that, okay, I'm being realistic. A new Star Ocean. We are due to a new Star Ocean.
I mean, if we're gonna do that, then I want to have a Terra Enigma re-release.
Shut up! You had your moment. Another thing
We
I
said bring it back.
believe is, yeah.
No, I was responding to Weave. Go ahead.
Another thing I believe we are due to is a new, what you call it, Tales of franchise. I know they've been with remaking or remastering Tales
They've been remastering
Tales.
things left, right, and center.
Yeah, so at some point you gotta, give us a new Tale. Don't just stick to remaster.
I think that's a realistic expectation. I definitely think it's about time to
What's
show
the next
a new one.
installment for Tales? I'm just thinking Japan-wise, globally. What,
I know something you would want.
New
a One
East.
Piece game?
He would want he would want Dot Hack to come back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, so much yes. Oh, especially with the rumor that the rumor that they were apparently working on one. Oh yes, so much yes.
Only you would hear that rumor. Like I haven't heard anything about it.
No, I saw somewhere that there are apparently rumors that they're working on one.
Yeah, I heard they're working on something. I don't know what it is, a remaster or a new title or what. But yeah, I definitely heard they were. From what I remember, I think it was a remaster or something. But yeah,
if it's a remaster, then it's gonna be from the old Dot Hack, cause I can't see them doing the new one, Dot Hack GU, because it already have a remaster.
Yeah, it'd be the old OG stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, they could announce a new East game because the last one has been out in Japan for ages. Yeah.
I mean, Falcom been busy. They just released Trails of the Sky remake.
Exactly. So it's time for another East game.
We've said line it up right now.
Yeah, so I mentioned I'm trying to think what else can come back, because people want to be excited, and I do think that
Dino Crisis.
Maybe after Pragmata.
I'm putting on my clown makeup right now, right? Because Dino Crisis.
Okay, maybe after. Whoa! What if from the studio that making, from the ex-developer that created Shadow of the Colossus, we saw his thingy go in the air.
Oh yeah.
The head go in the air.
Yeah, I mean that is a really realistic expectation.
Also, another thing, Okami too.
Yeah.
show some gameplay for that,
Yeah, this would be the
or
time.
like a year or maybe two for the reveal for Okami, I think. They did say they are far away from for a release date, so. And
Uh,
another thing,
Re-
yeah,
Re- Romeo's a Dead Man, the new Grasshopper game.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
one?
Romeo is dead.
Oh, I
Is a
mean,
Dead
yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a dead
Ro-
man.
yeah,
Ro-
yeah.
Ro- Romeo is Dead. Is that Jet Li movie?
I'm excited about that game. Actually, I'm super excited about that game. It
Yeah,
kind of reminds
that
me of
first trailer
Cristiano,
was
but
pretty funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, and this is an interesting one, DMC. Are we gonna get a new DMC?
Oh, as long as you mean Devil May Cry and not
Yeah.
the
I mean,
Ninja Theory
DMC is
bullshit.
known for Devil May Cry, is it not?
Yeah, but I have a trauma when you mention DMC because I'm thinking about the crap that Ninja Theory pulled.
It wasn't that bad.
Uh,
Hey! At least you gotta give me this. It's better than 2.
That's a low bar.
So I'm correct. It's better than 2. You know what I admit it.
They're
Mind you,
both
I played
trash.
both. So
One is
okay,
trash, one is garbage.
fine.
Pick one.
It's better than 3.
But yeah, a 6 would be a welcome.
That's a surprise, isn't it? Because they've been what, rehashing DMC5 all over again.
Would
Like
be
they
nice to see
remastered it. They
something else
remastered it.
than fucking Monster
Re-released
Hunter from
it.
Capcom.
Super fucking, I don't know, edition have been released from it. Like, yeah. What else?
Well, there are. I mean, since they're remastering all the Mega Man games, I wanna see Command Mission getting a remaster.
Maybe a new Mega Man game, like Loki.
Sure, but if they're gonna do all the remasters, like there are a couple of Mega Man games I haven't done yet.
What else? I think I mentioned everything that I can think of. Maybe a surprise from PlayStation themselves.
You know what would be really cool? If Konami suddenly said, "Hey, we're having so much success with our Metal Gear games. Let's bring back Castlevania. Let's make a new 2D Castlevania game."
We heard a rumor that Konami is outsourcing their Castlevania game, I think, to PlayStation long time ago.
And
So I'm not sure if something came from it. But yeah, I think it's way too early. Oh, maybe something from OD, Kojima OD,
did Kojima OD?
the game.
When you put it together
Yeah,
like that, though.
yeah.
We're specifically
Yeah.
talking about games. Fuck you guys. Yeah. Any JRPG template is welcome here, but at this point, I know I'm gonna wear a clown mask. Like, what else? Yeah, I do think the biggest one surprises would be the developer from behind Shadow of the Colossus to showcase their new game after that reveal, and maybe something new from Capcom. But Capcom been so busy with Resident Evil. I know we know Resident Evil 9 is gonna, but maybe that when they're gonna reveal.
I'm almost sick of seeing Resident Evil 9 at this point. Like I'm sick of them teasing it.
They need to reveal Leon apparently.
Yeah, I'm like, show me some actual like RE stuff. Like, show me killing something. Show me fighting, not just fearing for my life and tripping through hallways with like, white girl horror movie syndrome. Like like can I see the gameplay?
Give me
As
that Code
for
Veronica remake.
oh yeah, I forgot to mention it, but maybe a new Forza,
A new
especially with
Forza?
Forza rumored to be yeah. Because
You
Xbox
you
is doing a show.
You're really excited for new Forza. I mean, I know
I
Nate
never
is, but
I never
you?
said
now
I'm
he now he now, now
excited.
he just naming stuff.
I'm just saying surprises, or rather. But yeah, you got me, Nate.
But but
I'm
but
done.
but but Omar, that would literally not be a surprise.
I'm not gonna lie though, maybe a new GTA, and I'm not joking. Granted, my man.
What a new GTA like
I I
seven?
I I specifically changed it. I meant Gran Turismo.
Oh, okay.
mm,
That
yeah, I don't.
would be a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. Kazunori Yamauchi is like just notoriously extremely slow at development, so I don't. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know when the last time was real, so there you are.
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, they do something exciting with it going forward. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Usually,
we'll see what
you
happens.
honestly they're probably going to reserve as late in the game as we are, and as long as it takes them to do like cars that are super highly detailed and all this other stuff. They're probably gearing up for the launch of PS6. Is probably what they're doing.
Oh, that could be a PS6 title. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like
That
they
would be.
love to use Gran Turismo as a showcase and a reason for a lot of people to get a PlayStation. So, and it is a lot of people will immediately run out for the next Gran Turismo. So, yeah, I definitely think they're looking at
Omar,
that.
Omar, I'm surprised you didn't mention Infamous.
What?
Yeah, Infamous, like a new Infamous.
I know because I told him
We
anything.
did no, but because we did actually get the confirmation that they're not gonna release something Infamous
Yeah, but
related yet.
yeah, maybe the live.
Oh man, Omar being realistic.
Yeah, I'm actually
For a
being
change.
related for the first time. Despite matching a new Tails, a
But
new
but but Omar, you still have your clown mask on, so you can say whatever you want.
fine, a new Infamous, but that's so unlikely. Yeah. If a new
In,
Infamous is revealed, I think most of you would have bad hearing for a few days from me screaming.
in Infamous third uncle.
But yeah, let's move on to someone I
Yeah.
think.
Uh, I see. I don't know if she's ready, but
Yeah, I have.
Morgan
She
has joined
joined.
us. So Morgan, would you like to tell the people what you are excited for or potentially seeing at the Tokyo Game Show?
Um, Nothing really, to be honest. Everything I've seen thus far looks like nothing I'm interested in. So I'm just like, I mean, I'll watch it just to
Yeah.
see if I'm surprised, but I'm not really expecting anything, to be honest.
Okay, Morgan.
Um,
Yes, I did that take two. But
oh
now
man, okay.
imagine they lied and anything
Uh,
goes. What would you like
who
to
is
see?
they? Who's the they?
Any
What you talking about?
Everyone,
everyone.
all the Japanese publishers, they lied what they're going to show.
Um, uh, I mean, I really couldn't tell you. I mean, maybe, you know,
What's a new
Tokyo, Tokyo, like Coffee Talk Tokyo, maybe.
Oh,
yeah, this.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like PlayStation already revealed what they're gonna show, so it's like there's nothing PlayStation can just do unless they have a surprise. But they've already revealed their full list of what they're showing at the
You mean on the show
Tokyo
floor?
Game Show. So I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, it's basically just we're rehashing shit that we've already released. Yay. Um. So it's like not really even that surprising. Like it's not like I was expecting anything new from PlayStation. That's
So this will be
pretty much
this will be
par for the
interesting then.
course.
So this will be interesting then, since you're not sure or you feel like there's not going to be anything. It'll be interesting to see what you end up seeing and how differently you
Yeah,
feel after
it'll be interesting to see when I'm
TGS.
correct and there's not really anything.
All right, all right,
As per usual.
all right. Y'all
Listen,
heard it.
every
Y'all heard
Tokyo,
it.
listen. Every Tokyo Game Show, we get hype, and then every Tokyo Game Show, they don't really show shit. So it's just like, I mean, yeah, there's always a possibility, but there's also the higher possibility of being extremely disappointed as per usual. And it's not like I don't know. It's not like they really could come out and surprise me with anything unless like Atlas comes out and is like announces like Persona 6 or something. But
Oh,
I
that's
doubt
the
that'll
one
happen.
I should have mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
That we are down to a new persona, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're focusing on the next remake right now, so I really don't see them coming out and announcing Persona 6. This is why
They're gonna
I don't
showcase
expect it.
the new remake. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So it's just like nothing.
Okay. All right, y'all.
I don't expect to be blown away by anything. to
Y'all
be
heard
honest.
it here first. So that
Okay,
next week
You're
when we
you're
come
doing a lot
back.
right now.
Hey, look,
So
all I'm
yeah,
saying
next
is,
week when we come back
Next
and
week's
nothing
showcase
happens,
is gonna be boring.
then what are we gonna discuss?
hey, look,
Like
hey, look.
what is gonna happen at that point when it's a nothing
I,
burger
I,
and maybe like we get one little surprise, but it's not anything big? Like what's gonna be the discussion at that point?
hey, look, hey,
Like,
look.
oh well, I
We
guess
gonna
you're right, Morgan.
we gonna do this like spades. I'm gonna put some books on it. So I'm gonna say you coming out
Yeah, anyway,
you coming out hype with at least 5 games.
5,
At least 5.
sir. What are you basing this on?
Hey,
Like,
look, I'm just saying you coming
no,
out
no,
hype for at
I need
least
to know
5.
because no, because that's a pretty big number of games that you think I'm going to be hyped about. So I need to know what exactly you're basing this on because if we go by the
So
history of the Tokyo Game Show,
so
I
you're
have
going
left away indifferent every single time.
so you're gonna get so if Coffee Talk Tokyo shows and it's a release date, that's one. So you get the release date. So that's one. Threads of Time, which you probably forgot about, which I know you loved because I remember that. That was originally shown at Tokyo Game Show, which you loved. So I think we're either gonna get a release date or an update for Threads of Time. And then
Which game?
Threads of Time. I know you don't remember, Omar. I'll show you the trailer
No
later.
idea what that is.
It's an amazing looking RPG. And then I believe we're going to get an update for Sacrifier, which I know you also did.
Yes. I
Sacrifier
forgot
ain't coming to
that.
console first though. It's going to be PC, so I won't even care.
I mean, but you might,
It'll just be like, okay.
hey, you know, maybe a surprise. That might be the surprise. So,
I
Okay,
can't
so,
wait
yeah,
for
you're really
Sacrifice.
pushing it right now with
hey,
with
look.
these announcements right here.
And you probably forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
play it on PC.
You know what you're reminding me of? You're reminding me of like PlayStation fans when they swear that this is gonna be the showcase. We're gonna
Hey,
get all
look.
the games we want.
Hey, look,
Bro,
I'm
they're gonna
just
show
saying.
Wolverine and Intergalactic and Cory Barlog's next game, and it's just gonna be great. And then all you see is like a new update for Astrobot.
These are all realistic
16
expectations, though.
16 live service games, and then maybe one new announcement at the end. I'm just like,
Yeah, and next week we're gonna have a topic about managing expectations.
exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
all
Like you
right.
coming out the gate with it. Like, see, my mindset is the safe one, right? Because it's just like it can only go up. Because I'm already at the low point. You over here, oh man, it's gonna be like 5 games. You're just so excited for Morgan. It's just gonna be like this, and it's gonna be this other game, and this
I
other
mean,
game.
I feel like
And
5
it's like,
games isn't that crazy, but
sir, it don't even be 5 games at the damn state of play that I'm looking forward to. Like now you saying 5 games from the Tokyo Game Show?
yeah, from the whole
Like,
week. Like, that's a whole show from
oh.
multiple people.
Yes, from multiple people, most of who I don't care about. Like again, because PlayStation is just rehashing things. Square, like they're not even none of the booths are even talking about, from what I've seen, Octopath Zero. So it was just like, okay, well, I don't really care what any of the other shit you got to talk about. Sega again, they're probably gonna do some, it'd be cool if they do some RGG stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, they
maybe they
definitely are.
will.
They already scheduled an event, so.
Oh yeah, I know, but knowing them, it'll be just like switch announcements or some shit. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So I'm not gonna care.
But that's before the Tokyo Game Show, so it doesn't count, Tony.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, they have their own little.
Well,
show
I mean,
before that,
anything
so
Tokyo Game Show week is
here we
is
go.
the week.
Yeah, you see how you trying to squeeze it into like what?
Yeah,
No. Hold on, that's the week of anything. The week of E3, anything revealed during the week of E3 was E3 related news. So they're
Wow.
choosing to put it, having a show
Okay,
just
so
before the
if
show start.
okay, but like if they wanted to be included in Tokyo Game Show, why would they have their own showcase beforehand? Because
But a
it seems
lot,
like they
wait,
didn't want to be
a
included.
lot of companies have a show before the show floor opens, but
Mhm.
they're still the
They're
Tokyo
right.
Game Show though. Like it's
Yeah,
still part
no,
of it.
because
Yeah.
it definitely
Oh,
because
you
it
can't.
would
No,
have
we
said that.
can't
It would have said the
discredit
Tokyo
them.
Game Show presents RGG. It didn't say nothing like that. It just said the
It's the
RGG show.
week
So,
of though. Oh, come on, we can't do that.
oh man, it's like saying like I can take the week off because it's my birthday on a particular day. Like it don't work like that. Like it's not how it works, sir. You can't just throw stuff.
Yeah, but
in
now
there
you
because
taking out.
just
That's taking out one of
no,
the
you
biggest
just
people that
you're
you like.
trying to get exactly. That's why
No, but
you're trying
I'm
to
stating.
use them to get
Wait,
your
hold on.
5.
But I specifically said when I created the topic during the
Mhm.
week of Tokyo Game Show.
Oh my god.
So
Okay, but if they're not waving the banner of Tokyo Game Show, then you cannot count them.
okay, so during this event, if they're like, see more at the Tokyo Game Show, you'll take that.
It depends. Okay, if they say see more at the Tokyo Game Show, I'm only going to count the stuff they show at the Tokyo Game Show.
Yo, y'all see how difficult this is, right?
It's your fault. You're the one who you were the one who was trying to talk about 5 games. There's gonna be 5 things you're gonna be. That's all you. If you could have just said 1 and walked away a probable winner.
But Morgan, even with all the shows surrounding it, 5 is gonna be a massive undertaking.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know where he pulled this number from. Like
all right,
5
all I'm
games.
saying is tune in next week, folks, to see what happens. So we're gonna see
who is this man?
we're gonna see how
Because
right
any other showcase,
Innate was.
He's ready to be like, I mean, it'll be straight.
There's a lot of things lining up for this week.
All of a sudden, the Tokyo Game Show, he putting all his hopes and dreams on it. Like, where is this coming from?
Hey, look,
You got some inside information I don't know about.
It's a lot of things lining up for this week, and I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
This man got insiders apparently. Okay.
All right, cool. Well, as for me, I agree with Weeb. I'm looking forward to obviously RGG's showcase. Obviously, Stranger Than Heaven.
The non-Tokyo Game Show showcase. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Tokyo Game Show. Not really in particular Kiwami 3 because I agree with Weeb. Like a remake for that or remaster seems excessive, but maybe they'll show us something or a reason for that remake that we don't really get, or particular added content. It's definitely 100% time for Square to stop BSing and show Dragon Quest 12. It's absolutely ridiculous that this thing has been announced God knows how long ago, and we haven't even seen like key art from this game. Like, it is ridiculous. So yeah, Square definitely needs to get their shit together, and it's time for that reveal. Like I said earlier, Threads of Time, which is a big one for me. You guys have probably seen it. You've seen it on the show. I've ran it through the show a couple times since they revealed it. They originally did their major reveal during TGS, during the Xbox showcase. Again, that game looks phenomenal. Just absolutely incredible. So yeah, definitely hoping for a release date update for that game. They've been kind of radio silent. I followed them on Twitter and whatnot, so I haven't seen anything from them. So I'm hoping they're getting ready to light up the stage again and give us a release date for that. Obviously, the PlayStation event that's supposed to take place next week, if that actually happens, we'll see. If it does, then obviously, again, hopefully all those major updates, we were promised. We were supposed to see Saros later in the year. We're supposed to see Intergalactic as well. So hopefully, at the very least, we can see both of those titles. Like I said earlier, it's definitely time to see Wolverine as well. And then I definitely expect to see kind of that one more thing for Ghost of Yotei, given that it is, the Tokyo Game Show, and getting, ready to see how everybody feels like that final trailer or launch trailer, if they haven't done that already. I think they'll reveal that there for Ghost of Yotei. Get ready for that early October release. And of course, Ghost of Tsushima was really big in Japan too. A lot of people out there really enjoyed it. So I think that lines up appropriately for them. Definitely plan to see some more from Capcom. Obviously, Capcom's kind of been on fire lately. They're constantly showing stuff. Like I said, if they do show Resident Evil, I'd like to see some actual gameplay, not more like, weird stuff or whatever, just kind of like whatever is kind of going on in the background. I do want to see some more of this game that's on screen right now. Starbite, this is another game a lot of people forget about because it didn't show up like crazy, but it is a turn-based game that, again, another one that was revealed at Xbox's event and which has been shown twice at their event. So I definitely expect to see an update for Starbite.
The one with the cooking?
I don't know nothing about cooking. I just know that they have mechs.
No, there is. Oh, yeah, I think maybe this is it. It's combined turn-based cook with mechs and cooking.
you are talking about a completely different game.
Yeah, maybe different game.
No, you're definitely talking about a different game because I know what you're talking about. Because they're in a mech, but it's like two girls in a mech, and they have something to do with cooking. It's not that game. Starbite is a different game. I don't even remember what the name of that game is you're talking about, but I know what you're talking about because Morgan is the one that told me about it and put it on my radar because I think I missed when it was shown off. But yeah, like I said, a lot of potential stuff out there to be shown at the show. RGG obviously starting us off. But yeah, I'm excited for it. We'll see. Everybody's saying that it's not gonna be a hit, so we'll see what's up. Obviously, like Square, like I said, the only real big thing they have is the new Dragon Quest to really show off. I'd be surprised if they had more to show off, considering they already have Octopath Zero, and I can't remember that ridiculously long name of the Zelda-like.
The Octopath. Yeah.
So the Adventures of Elliot or something like that.
Legend of Elliot and the Fairy something maybe.
Yeah, it's super long. So I know they got both of those coming up, so they'll probably show both of those on the show floor, but I don't really expect anything major from them unless they're going to show off Dragon Quest. And I mean, we've gotten big reveals from them from TGS before, so it's not unheard of. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, moving on. Our next topic, this was a big one, and it has been for a while in the industry. We're going to go straight into the industry optimization woes. So industry-wide, there's been a ton of issues with optimization of varying degrees. Obviously with Borderlands 4 optimization happening shortly after the disastrous launch of Metal Gear Solid Delta and its optimization issues, as well as just missing features overall. Like certain things weren't even working in the PC version. I still don't think they fixed it. It ultimately begs the question, what's going on with optimization in the gaming industry? On one hand, you have gamers stating, they feel this gen hasn't pushed the consoles or PCs to their limits. And then 5 minutes later, we're getting something that is making PCs scream and, pushing, 5090s, to the degree that people believe is unrightfully so and understandable. That some of these things should definitely not be taking the horsepower that they do to run some of these instances. But again, with gamers constantly wanting the latest and greatest, wanting all the newest techniques, all the bells and whistles turned on, things can get crazy and get heavy real fast. And, honestly, sometimes people are not really sure what they're looking at in the gamer space. You definitely gotta be careful. We've definitely seen a lot of people who really don't understand what exactly they're looking at, what's really being rendered on screen, what is being managed in the game that you're looking at, right? Especially when you're introducing online elements, co-op, like I said, untethered co-op, which is a completely different thing, for the record, something a lot of people don't really keep in mind when you're in a larger environment, being able to go extremely far from the other person when you're not managed by a server, but something that is just instance between you and whoever you're in the game with. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons for a lot of things, but definitely some of this stuff um, warrants concern and some backlash for sure. So um, yeah, uh, we'll start with Omar. Omar, obviously you've been playing Borderlands, you've been having some issues, but you've seen some of the other issues in some of the other games. What are your concerns as far as the industry and optimization, and what have been things that you've personally experienced that have affected
Yeah.
your games?
So for me personally, when it comes to Borderlands glitches, like known glitches, it's not like unknown glitches. I can sometimes can see enemy health bar, so I wouldn't know which type of gun to use on them. So now you're not affecting like a menu. Now you're strictly affecting gameplay, and yeah, I have absolutely no idea what's going on with them. Other than that, I experienced literally a side quest not being able to finish, so I had to reload my game to be able to do so. Another thing is I would try to put my weapon into a junk folder. It junk the weapon above me, and it sounds silly, yeah? but with, but with the game such a Borderlands that is essence its loot, if I junk an important loot and then I sell it, it's over. Especially if I reload and if I don't pay attention that yeah I did junk something that was above me instead of next to me. So, uh, so at some point you gotta ask yourself like, did they test the game? Like when you hear comments from Randy Pitchers that the more you play on console, the worse it gets. So you knew, and you still released it, and you're hyping up numbers, and you're trying to shut us up with what you call it, golden keys. As of that gonna magically make everything disappear. What's wrong with the game? And I'm not even on PC. It's not like I've experienced anything with FPS drop, but my bros have. And every now and then he tell me I need to restart my game. Why? FPS drop. Or when we're playing together, his map is not registering the way my map is. So when I'm pointing on something, he can't see that. And it's significantly when it comes to story quest, where you're like objective, you need to go there. Bro, I'm literally pointing at it. I can't see it. I can't even see that it's story connect related. So it makes a question like, why are so many issues? And I heard Metal Gear 1, and I was lucky enough to not play that because God knows there need any single player to play like that before the Borderlands. And we've seen with what you call it, what's that game name? Astral, not Astral, from the one Lost Soul aside, they've been patching it up to a zoo. And I full we I've seen the documentary of the God of War, if I remember correctly, and how uh, either at their documentary or somewhere else they explained that delay at some point you just can't delay a game anymore. You gotta release it or else it's gonna start cost you money. But then I'm like, there should be some type of compensation for the early adopters. Like, how fair is it for us when we invest in something only for it to not work? And people can easily say, oh, just play something else, or shut up and play it. You are asking too much. They are developers and everything in between. I'm like, be transparent about it though. Because, like, they removed minimap from Borderlands. They removed so many things. They added a lot of stuff that were phenomenal. So I know they're working with a new engine. So I'm like, if you knew you're working with the new engine, shouldn't have you had like a beta test for it? Like they did a preview, and what did we hear in it? Everything is phenomenal. What did they play? What
All
did
those
they
people played on
play? If
PC.
people played, like, don't you agree? If people played what we're playing right now, we were having a two different conversation. It frustrates me because again, you mentioned
To be fair, my PC playthrough has been 100% flawless. So that's all they played in a controlled environment on powerful rigs. So I can't speak for what else they played, but that's all they played in a small sample size. So
it
that's what they
it
played.
genuinely makes you question what's going on with Borderlands. Cause this is unacceptable, and it's not Borderlands only. Like at some point, there gotta be something to give for these companies. Like enough is enough. I would rather have delayed Borderlands to have an amazing experience with it than to play it right now. That's just my opinion. I know in 8 you haven't had a single issue with it, uh, but you're genuinely the minority.
Yeah.
But between they have made so much bunkers decisions that you're like, uh, with Borderlands, it makes you question which one is made because of the new engine, which one is made because they wanted something new, and it's causing them more issues with what we call it the hardware. And then I'm like, if the PS5 exists but the Pro exists, shouldn't the Pro take advantage? Shouldn't Borderlands take advantage of the Pro? I don't. I legit don't know what's happening with the industry right now. It's a lot of big bags when it comes to releases, especially big releases. Like, not gonna lie,
So to be clear, Borderlands has always been made on the Unreal Engine. Borderlands 3 was on Unreal Engine 4. This is just on Unreal Engine 5. So it's a new iteration of the engine, but Unreal is what they've been working on.
they did
The
go
change,
open world,
yeah,
so that changed as well.
that is the change, not the engine though. Yeah,
Gotcha,
it's the
gotcha.
open world in no instances, or not no instances, but majority no instances, because there are some cases where there are instances where you enter certain buildings.
It's just frustrating to see where the industry is right now. It makes you question: is it monkey see, monkey do? Is it they don't have time? Is it what happened to Q&A tester? Like, I genuinely need to ask that. I don't know, dude. I'm not dreading God of War Day release because I don't think PlayStation would allow it.
Well, they're
after
not
the
using
fiasco
Unreal,
that
so I'm not concerned about that at all.
after after the fiasco that so at some point if Unreal is the issue, um fix it. Don't go to a different engine. Just have what you call it, the people behind Unreal like do something about it. I don't know, dude. I'm not a dev, but I am a consumer and I'm also a gamer. So it is frustrating to see, like, a game is bad when I feel that something wrong with it. If you can have me feel something wrong with a game, like for example the field of view FOV that's missing on the PS5, then you know you fucked up.
Missing on consoles specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. It genuinely makes you question what's going on with the industry. And games like Death Stranding 2, which I had a zero problem with it running flawlessly, zero glitches, zero bugs, zero whatsoever. You would expect something from that, open world, hectic. But yeah, no, that shit was running flawlessly.
I mean,
But then,
I would expect it to, because that game is designed from the ground up on an engine that was designed in time with open world in mind. I mean, the original invention for that engine is the original Horizon, which is open world. So that actually doesn't surprise me and shows the benefit of a proprietary engine. But we've also seen companies struggle and know that creating a proprietary engine is not easy. We watched the Halo team fail at that spectacularly, and also drop that engine to now be converting their current game and their upcoming game to Unreal, because honestly they could not do it. So
I questioned, we know about an Unreal Engine 5 game that's an open world that performed well. Oh yeah, I remember Mafia. Mafia had issue. I read somewhere.
I mean, I couldn't tell you.
So
I didn't have an issue on that game, and I don't know if it's Unreal.
Expedition 33 ran okay, ran good.
Oh yeah, there you go. Expedition 33.
well,
And apparently
congratulations.
Silent Hill F is also running very well, according to Digital Foundry.
Which game?
Silent Hill F.
Silent
Oh,
Hill
Silent
F.
Hill F. Oh, okay. Oh, is that game open world?
No.
Okay, I had no idea. Interesting. Um, yeah, yeah. It makes you question: is it an Unreal Engine issue? Cause I forgot what it's called, but someone came out and said no, it's not a Unreal Engine issue. It's a developers that need to be better. So I just think
I mean,
there
I
is
think it's
not enough.
primarily an Unreal Engine issue, but it is not exclusively an Unreal Engine issue, because we've had other games on other engines have issues, like when Dragon's
Gotcha.
Dogma 2 came out. So it is
Okay,
not exclusive to, but yeah, I mean, I don't
it's
I don't think it's
predominantly
zero.
Unreal Engine.
Yeah, it doesn't have zero blame. So it's not just, you know, it's not just that, but it's a combination of things. But yeah, primarily the common denominator in most of these games having issues is Unreal Engine 5.
One last thing I would say is we, the consumers, are not well protected, sadly. So developers and publishers are gonna make use of that. They can get away with it. What's gonna happen? You're gonna shame them on Twitter?
I mean,
They don't
to be
care.
fair, you do have reviews and you have other things. So being a day one adopter is 100% on the consumer. Not that you shouldn't expect better, but saying you have ways to mitigate you running into potential issues if you wait. But if you don't want to wait, that's when you're gonna potentially you're going to have to accept the responsibility that you could be running into issues, especially knowing a title is developed on Unreal Engine.
To me, it's a double-edged sword because sometimes previews work, sometimes they don't. We've seen preview for Hype that mind game that failed, how it a
Yeah,
bad
but I'm
one
not
and
talking
everything.
about before the game comes out. I'm talking about reviews in the live copy that consumers are going to get. But I'm saying
But
if you are going to be day one, then that is a responsibility that you have to accept as a consumer. Like there's certain
I disagree with that.
responsibilities.
I
How can
I
you
disagree
disagree with
with
that?
that.
That's a
It's not your
fact.
responsibility. Should you not expect a game to
Hold on,
work?
wait.
If,
Wait. Don't mix your expectations with your consumer responsibility. You are still responsible for the things that you purchase. Those are two separate things. That's what I'm saying. So we're not disagreeing. I'm talking about something else. Your consumer responsibility is one thing. If you purchase a product that you know is having an issue or potentially could have an issue, that is your failure on a consumer part. I'm not saying you shouldn't expect these things to be great and you should expect them to be in a playable format or to be great, but you also if you are knowledgeable, knowing there is a potential issue or knowing there may be an issue that is too much for you on that product that you wish to consume, then you need to wait.
okay, if you're knowledgeable, but if you're not, then what?
You still have other means to do it. You don't have to be knowledgeable. There's a reason there's reviewers. There's a reason there's 10,000 people playing a game day one who you can turn to if you don't know better. But if you there's no way you're in the market for something and you don't know something. That's like a game. That's like Ford F-150s having a mass recall, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go purchase one tomorrow. Like it's still your responsibility before making a purchase to decide how much you want to know. So what you don't know is still your fault. That's a consumer responsibility. That's the same thing with buying a TV. But what did you do before you bought a TV? You did a bunch of research and you got a bunch of suggestions, correct? Because that is your consumer responsibility towards the TV that you purchase. And I know people who do the opposite and they get terrible TVs and have terrible results, but that was their responsibility and their failure as a consumer within that market to do the proper research in order to get a bad product. That is consumer responsibility across the board, not just gaming. You get what I'm saying?
I get you, but I didn't agree with it. But
But you're not disagreeing. I'm explaining to you. Expectation.
I get no. I get it. But
Yeah,
if you buy
expectation is not the responsibility.
Like for example, the new iPhone. If you bought it and it's flawed, like that's on them. That's not on you to doing your research.
If you bought it in what?
If you bought the new iPhone that literally just released a few weeks ago, that's on them if there are flaws in the phone. That's not on you doing your research.
Again, if you purchase a product being ignorant, that is on you. That is 100% on the consumer. Like that's what I'm explaining to you. These are consumer responsibilities and when purchasing any said product. People tend to do more research the more expensive the product is. Like if you're going to purchase a car, etc. But regardless, it's your responsibility. If you were just rich and you just bought the new Porsche or whatever and you thought, oh well, I'm rich, so I don't really care. They were chose to be ignorant, purchasing that product based on the amount of money they made. They were still made an ignorant purchase because they don't know anything. But they just didn't care because they have the money. That's why I said that you can expect. Now that person can have an expectation that they're buying a Porsche and that it's handmade and that they think it's going to be a quality product. But I mean, something being handmade and a high end product does not guarantee zero problems. I know issues with several vehicles that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars that have known issues on the market that people talk about all the time that own them. So again, that part of it is the consumer responsibility, but you can definitely have an expectation. So I agree. You should expect the product to work as intended. But we live in a consumer market where that we know that is not always the case.
You know what we need? We need warranty.
You need a
What
warranty.
we, yeah, warranty. If we purchase something that's not working, we should demand our money back.
How many hours have you put into Borderlands 4?
I need to check, but close to 40 or something. Now, maybe more. I'm level 40, so a lot of hours.
So you're still playing it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I bought it.
But you could stop and you could wait, or you see. I'm not saying you should have to. I'm saying
But
you
when
could.
it's working well. But when it's not working well, that's the issue.
So even if you had purchased it on Steam, you'd be past the 2 hour limit, in which point you could have returned. You could have returned it. So there are return policies in place, but at a certain point, consumers accept that they're playing the product to a degree or to a point where they can no longer return that item because you've experienced too much of it. It's like reading a book halfway and then being like, "Well, I'm not really feeling it. I want to return it."
But all I'm saying is there should be some rules, not rules, laws set in place to prevent all this shit from being a thing.
Prevent what though? Software will never be 100% flawless, so that can't work.
If you release a game and you know it, if you don't know, okay, I get it. But if you knowingly release a game, there also like, again, I'm not a developer, but to me it bunkers that we should be okay expecting mediocre releases. Like I legit can't comprehend that. Maybe that's just me. Let's move on because there are lots of other people to play.
No, you're
To
fine.
talk.
So just per example, because you're not seeing the chat, C Fresh said, "Be an informed consumer." That is your
I am
response.
an informed consumer. This is why I watched the preview for Borderlands. I know you're.
Okay, but you understood that was in a controlled environment on a PC, correct?
Yeah, I understood that.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, Hero also stated you research the heck out of every tech purchase. And you see, he stated that. That's again, so he doesn't get got. He made that choice. So again, that's all I'm saying. There's a level of responsibility that's on the consumer when making a purchase. It's the same thing that goes for your food. I mean, if you purchase something you knowingly know that you typically don't like, and you're like, "I'm gonna try it again," well, you're a dumbass. Like that doesn't make any sense for you to do that. Yeah, and
We
but
got
yeah,
other
yeah, Morgan. So obviously, we talked about this as well. You have seen a lot of the issues. I think you are purposely, I'm pretty sure you're purposely avoiding picking up Metal Gear Solid right now from a lot of the issues that are going on. Until you hear things are fixed or it's at a reasonable price that you want to jump in. What are some of the issues you're facing as far as optimization and how you feel about what's going on with the industry right now? I don't know if Morgan can talk right now. She might not be able to. But
Um, so your question is how do I feel about
yeah, yeah,
optimization
yeah. Like,
in the
how is it
industry?
affecting you personally? Like, I know you are a big Metal Gear fan. You were
Mhm.
looking forward to 3, but I don't know. You kind of felt like you pushed back some when we heard about all the issues it was facing. and what was going on. So how has it affected you personally, and how do you feel overall about optimization and maybe what
Um,
needs to take place?
for me, and again, this is just my opinion. Yeah, the lack of optimization that has been happening with a lot of third party games, it does suck. Um, but I have so many games to play that if one game isn't optimized, I can just kind of move on. Like it's just like okay, like so far, like I've only played maybe what 4 hours, 5 hours of Borderlands, and that's with you, co-op. I haven't run into any performance issues thus far, but again, I'm early, and Borderlands wasn't really number one on my priority list. Like I really only played it because you were just like, we can play it co-op. So it's just like, um, even if there were performance issues, I probably wouldn't even care, right? I just move on to go back and playing Triangle Strategy or something. Um, but as far as like overall, what I've been the optimization issues that I've been dealing with this year, I don't think it's been very rare that something has pushed to the point where it's been unplayable for me. Like I played many games that have been poorly optimized, right? Like a recent one would probably be like Mafia: The Old Country. Like it had a lot of FPS drops
Mm-hmm.
in like when you were driving, especially like in the city area,
Yeah.
that would get annoying, but it didn't make it unplayable for me. It was just like, ugh, like every time I drive to the city, it would just the frame rate would tank and it'd be kind of jarring, but it didn't do anything to make me, just be like, oh, I'll just not play it and, move on to something else, right? Like I don't think I've really experienced that this year, like where something's been so unoptimized that I would just like stop playing it. Um, for the most part, I've been able to like just push through. But again, it sucks that that has to be a thing that we have to just kind of be like either play a game day one and suck it up, or kind of just wait for it to get patched. Um, but again, I think it's because I'm in a unique situation where I have so many games to play that if one is not working or not, you know, at least not entertaining me in any type of way, I can just kind of move on to another game that I have in my backlog. But again, I haven't really had to do that. So I think I don't know, maybe I have like a high tolerance for unoptimized games. Because I do see a lot of people like very, very upset about it. And I get it because you're spending a lot of money on games and you want, obviously if you spend 70, 80, 90, 100 plus dollars on these games, you want them to work at least to the best of their abilities, right? At least be playable day one, right? Especially for studios that like, they pump out all these editions and they make all these promises and then they don't necessarily keep them when they launch. Um, but for me, I haven't really had a too terrible of experience with unoptimized games. So I'm probably not the best person to talk about it. Like I said, I was talking to you about it last night, like how bad I think it is and how much I think it sucks that games cost what they cost.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be definitely the triple A sector. Like
Absolutely.
the double A for at least what I've been playing have been far more stable than triple A. And that's for a bunch of different reasons, right? That's for mostly for pressure from publishers to get these games that they've spent multiple tens of millions of dollars and sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars on because they want these games out, like regardless of the fact that they may not be ready, regardless of the fact that the devs may have told them like, hey, we need more time, we still haven't worked this out, we still haven't optimized for this. They don't care. They're just like, is it at least 80% there? And they're like, and if it is, then push it. We'll just fix it after it launches. That's kind of the mentality of a lot of big publishers. They really just want these games to come out and hit that quota, hit at that quarter, so it can make it onto the quarterly statements, and they can say they launched this game and it, you know, raised up the stock price and everything like that because they were able to get the game out on time and yada yada yada. They don't really care about the backfall, especially if it's like a bigger IP that has the wherewithal to withstand not being optimized, kind of like Borderlands, right? It's built a fan base, it's built you know, a big reputation that even unoptimized people will still buy it day one, right? And they can just kind of ride on the coattails of their reputation and how kind of big the game is to be like, people buy it and then they'll just kind of wait for us to fix it essentially. And as far as like the whole Unreal thing, like yeah, it's a multifaceted issue. It's not just Unreal, it's not just the devs, it's not just the publishers. Like it's it's essentially what right now. Um it's basically like a mixture of um Unreal gives devs the tools to be able to kind of, like I was explaining to a Nate the other night, it gives developers the tools to essentially skip certain steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're able to essentially not have to make a native resolution because there's a lot of upscalers available on Unreal, which is why a lot of games that are Unreal 5, the native resolution is like 720p or 550p or like, 920p, and then they upscale it up to 1440p, up to 4K, right? Or they have, upscalers for the FPS, right? That PC players hate so much. They
Well, and
have,
the
ways
lighting
of,
system we talked about.
yeah, I was
Wara mentioned
just
it
about to
in the
say that.
chat.
Yeah. The lighting system, like they have pre-baked lighting systems, like where a big issue that I was talking about the other night with like what was it? Jedi Survival,
Jedi Survivor, yeah.
Survivor. Yeah. Um, one of the main issues with it was like the frame rate drops for that game. It had big performance issues. And one of the issues and one of the reasons why it had so many performance issues was because it used a lot of ray tracing, right? And a lot of native ray tracing. And a lot of PC players were upset because they were like, why can't I just turn the ray tracing off? And that the reason they couldn't turn the ray tracing off was because that was the only lighting system that Respawn had put for the game, right? They didn't have, another lighting system under it that was also there on top of the ray tracing. No, it was just ray tracing because that was a tool available in Unreal 5. So they didn't feel the need to actually put another lighting system in. They just relied solely on the ray tracing until they patched it later and they put another lighting system under it and people could turn ray tracing off. And that was also a reason why it was performing bad on console too, because ray tracing again was the
Was
only
forced
lighting
on.
system available. Yeah, it was basically forced upon all these consoles and PC. And it's things like that that developers do with Unreal 5 that makes the optimization such a pain because like I said, they'll rely on upscalers. The game will only be 720p and they'll be like, "Oh, but it upscales up to 1440p," which is why the graphics will look so washed or it won't look great or it won't run properly. It's just these shortcuts that are available in Unreal that a lot of developers are relying on. And I'm not gonna solely blame the developers for that. Like a lot of them do it because these big publishers are pushing them to meet deadlines, pushing them to meet these quotas. Like, okay, by this month, we need to reach this milestone for this game. We need to hurry up. Like, why is this taking so long? We spent more money. We need to get this game out by January. We need to get this game out by October, whatever. And so they're using the tool set available in Unreal to kind of skip around what used to be done natively, right, for the game. So that's really why Unreal has so many issues, right? Because these developers are taking shortcuts, and optimization is usually something done in the last few months of development, right? They that's usually like one of the last things that they do, and because it's one of the last things they do, they don't always get it done before set launch is, before the launch of the game. So then they're still working on optimization after the game launches, right? They're still doing patches and they're still saying, "Oh, sorry, we've released it. We see the problems. We see this problem on PS5. We see this problem on Series X. We see this problem on PC. Don't worry, we're gonna patch it up," because they were working on it before the game even launched, right? They knew this was gonna be a thing, but the game launches when it launches, so they had to to release it, and then they continue to work on it afterwards. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just it's again, it's not just a dev or an engine issue, because you'll have gamers asking, well, why does this engine run better, or why does that engine run better? And it's not necessarily a better or worse. It's just the way the developers use the engine that that depends on how it's going to come out, right? Like I said, Expedition 33 launched just fine in Unreal 5, and like I said, Silent Hill F is apparently really good. It's like a locked 30 or 60 depending on what mode you want to play in. According to Digital Foundry, it's a locked game. Like, really not any much issue going on with that game, and it just depends on how the developer utilizes the tools, right? Um, so it's really going to be dependent on how developers go forward, and how publishers are going to be pushing these devs to release on certain quota. Like, because we see how Ubisoft, once they finally give their developers, actual time, they delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows like twice, and they actually gave the developers more time to optimize the game. How it actually ran very well, unlike normal Assassin's Creed launches that kind of have like a lot of performance issues, because
Mm-hmm.
they actually gave developers, their teams and their studios, time to optimize Assassin's Creed Shadows. It came out and it launched at a very good optimized, performance. So yeah, it's just really going to depend on how uh publishers move forward. But I honestly don't see them, doing the kind of Ubisoft thing, because Ubisoft only did that because of how, bad the PR was around the game. So they really had no choice. They had to launch this in the best state they could, or because, Ubisoft's essential survival depended on how well Shadows released, right? But I really don't see other developers doing it, because they see the monetary result that they get from these games. Like, regardless of games launching in a bad state, people still buy them day one anyway. And they're still making record profits. They still, regardless of, the negative feedback or the mixed feedback, as long as they patch it in what's considered a reasonable time, people forgive and forget, right? A game will go from like a mixed or negative review on Steam to a positive review if you can patch it, fast enough, or if you're really if you're really communicating with the gamers in a good way, and you're letting them know, like, hey, we see the problem, we worked it out, we're working on it, we're going to release a patch in a week or two, you know, as long as you're like really positive with gamers and you get these patches out quickly, people will forgive you for launching a game in a bad state, essentially. So I don't see it changing much. The only thing that's really going to help is Unreal and or Epic um utilizing, the tools of Unreal 5 better, which is essentially what they said they were going to be doing in the Unreal event that they had when they were showing off The Witcher 4. They were talking about, better ways to optimize, and, giving a speedier process when it comes to optimization, and not being so basically hard for the developers.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Unreal
that's true,
5.6.
and if they exactly, Unreal 5.6. So if that's true, and if they optimize the engine, and they get it to a point where devs don't really have to kind of crunch with it, then maybe we'll see performance uh, go up for games, and not release, at least for Unreal 5 games, not release in such a bad state. We can only hope. We never know. Because maybe by the time, Unreal 6 comes out, that will be the real problem. People will be like, damn, go back to Unreal 5, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, that's really all I had to say. Like, it's not just a one, you know, it's not really just one thing to blame when it comes to Unreal 5 games. There's a lot of factors that go into Unreal and why games are not always optimized when it comes to Unreal 5. It's just because of the tool set that they give you. Like if they give you essentially a cheat sheet for devs and they use it, and it doesn't always turn out the best. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, agreed. Weeb, same thing. How has it affected you personally? In any of the games that you've played, and how are you feeling about the situation overall, industry wide with optimization? I think you might be one of the few people that played or picked up MGS3 as well, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, but haven't touched it yet.
okay,
So yeah, I don't really have that many issues with Unreal 5 so far. The games I played. But yeah, I mean, it is certainly a trend from, yeah, well, I understand it. It's, I mean, like Expedition 33 showing like you can develop, a good optimized game, but it requires apparently some effort to do so, which a lot of developers seem to neglect or not do or don't have the time to do. So yeah, you kind of it's I guess kind of wondering if indeed moving to UE5 is the right decision, or at least how they developed it. It seems like they're up front. You have a lot more options, so it makes things easier. But then to finish it off, to make it ready for market, that requires a lot more effort. That apparently a lot of studios or publishers are not willing to put into it on launch, because delaying the game, I guess, means they're having a lot of lost profits or increased costs because they have to keep paying people. So I guess that's kind of what's behind this. Yeah, I mean, it is like he also mentioned, it is of course hard to develop your own engine that can turn out really well. Like with the Decim engine, it can obviously turn really badly, like you mentioned with the Slipstream engine. So yeah, it's obviously that it's especially if you're obviously a small studio like like the Expedition 33 guys, you're gonna develop your own engine. You're gonna buy one off the market, and then this seems to be for a lot of developers the only option. Yes, of course you have Unity, you have some competitors, but this is sort of especially for the AAA games, kind of it. And this is sort of the problem we're running into right now. So um, in the end, like I do agree with Omar that this is well, of course there's a consumer responsibility, as in you decide what you buy, but there is also a responsibility for developers to not release a game, when it's not ready, or publishers, whoever decides to push the game forward when it clearly needs more optimization, especially with a game like Borderlands 4. From what I, at least again, I have not played it, but the things you're hearing from people, I mean, no game should be poorly optimized. No game should have a lot of frame rate issues, etc. But if it's multiplayer, I can imagine that's gonna frustrate even more, because it literally can ruin your experience, or so if ranking, whatever applies to any multiplayer game, certainly is less than ideal to have a engine, or at least build it on the engine and then not optimize it to make sure that it runs stable with stable frame rate and no performance issues. And yes, some. I mean, look, we all know Randy Pitchford has a fork up his ass, like the dude. has always been arrogant and has always been willing to wave away any criticism and just bite back. So that's sort of par for the course for him. But yeah, it does not help if you're being an ass about it, even though it's clearly on you that you released this game and clearly need a little more time in the oven. And yeah, I can understand from a business perspective, like I said, that sometimes you have to make the decision to release it, even though it's not finished. But yeah, if you do release it, at least make sure that you're able to deliver a level of quality that people at least can, continue playing that game without, waiting for a patch that's gonna fix some performance issues that are basically ruining your gameplay. So yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I don't have a lot of experience personally with at least with this situation. I've seen, of course, other games that had issues with performance that came out, rough, to put it mildly, or maybe were never fixed in the end. And like Morgan said, it kind of depends also on the game. Like there have been games that had issues, and I wasn't deterred from playing them. I mean, remember Darksiders 3 back in the day also had a lot of issues when that game came out, and I was still, fine with playing it. I wanted to play this as I was so excited to finally be able to play another entry in this series that I didn't particularly care enough about the issues that would stop me from playing it. So it highly depends on your experience on what you think is important, or how I guess how much you want to play a game, and of course versus the actual issues. And again, context matters. Aside from it being personal, of course, depends entirely on what kind of game it is. Like again, I think multiplayer games definitely need to be as optimized as possible to provide a stable performance. Because if you already have the issue that maybe lag or whatever can ruin your experience, if the game itself can't run properly, regardless of your connection, that's just that's yeah. If this wasn't Borderlands, it probably would have been dead on arrival. If this was a new IP from somebody and you launch it like that, people would not stand for that. So you're kind of lucky in that case, in a position where you're able to get away with that, at least for a while before people will drop your game. But yeah, it's never an excuse. Like you should, at the very least, deliver a product that runs, properly at a certain level that is playable. Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. This is certainly a trend that we've seen, and yeah, it does lead all back to UE5, but I guess also partially to the way that these developers prioritize their development. I mean, like I said, we've seen examples where it does work. So you do need to put in that effort. And I guess the question indeed is in the end, like, is that effort worth it for these developers? Is there a reason why they can't put that in there a lot of times? And yeah, is that the engine's fault, or is that the developers? Apparent need to change how they do things, I guess, to make sure that they're releasing the product in an optimized state. Yeah, well, I guess those are my 2 cents.
Cool, agreed. Yeah, no, hopefully, like I said, everything gets better. Obviously, proprietary engines are some pretty tough things to maintain, so you only see that from a lot of the bigger people. So we'll see kind of what happens going forward. Like I said, hopefully 5.6 manages to do a lot, in regards to some of these people turning on all the bells and whistles the way some of these devs do when they're developing a game. I know some of this stuff personally from playing Fortnite, where you have a lot of control over what's on and off in UE5 on PC. there are some really, really intense things you can turn on UE5 that were 100% proprietary to just Epic having access to them at first. And turning some of those things on can really, really create a heavy, heavy load for GPUs and whatnot, or your computer overall to lift, or consoles in this case, for some people. But yeah, hopefully 5.6 really does that. Like they said, a lot of the stuff I've seen looked really promising, and a lot of it again has to do with render techniques, changing how foliage is rendered, changing how a lot of more complex areas or large areas are rendered, changing when, how far. Like there's a lot more control seems to be coming in 5.6, giving people the tools to optimize a lot better. So hopefully that translates as well as it looked like it would. So another thing here. So this was one that came up for me, this topic. Ultimately, what are some of the tropes or other or some of the habits, I guess, some of your favorite genres have that you believe need to be ditched or changed in order for them to evolve or make them better. Just to kind of give people an example of what I mean by this topic, one of the biggest things I have as a JRPG fan, first and foremost, those are the highest played games all the time, is that a lot of them are way too young. As far as like, they tend to have a habit of depending on a young protagonist, coming of age stories, like 100% of the time. Like it's constant. It's way too often compared to maybe like the variety and what we had during the PS1 era. I feel like they kind of started to depend on that. And it's like you're always playing teenagers or, slightly above teenagers. And it's like, it fails to let them tell certain stories by not having, some older protagonists that have maybe been through some shit and, things of that nature, and allow you to tell varying different stories, right? A good example of a JRPG that has done this and done this very well is Octopath Traveler 2. I talked about it with Morgan because that was both of our game of the year. But she specifically started with Oswald, and he is a father. He's an older individual. He has been through some shit. He has seen some shit, and he will tell you about it. And it adds a completely different dynamic to the way your game starts if you choose him to pick from. And same thing with a lot of the different characters, right? The way they tell everyone's story in Octopath. There is a young person, like the youngest person on the team is the hunter from the village. But even she has like the weight of responsibility and a lot of other things on her shoulders. I just feel like the genre kind of depends on that too often, and people just kind of accept it because obviously, when you're a fan of that genre, you just kind of like, oh, that's just a thing. But I definitely think it's something in particular that's held it back, right? A lot of I've seen, not a lot, but I've seen some people, in particular, mad or hating that a lot of people tried Expedition 33 that normally didn't try other turn-based RPGs. But the problem is they're failing to realize why people did that, essentially, and that's a failing on their part. A big part of why that happened was the older, not only grittier or darker tone to the story, but a more grown-up story to it, right? In this grittier world that didn't specifically depend on, again, anime-like tropes or anime-like graphics and stuff of that nature. And if you like those things, I mean, that's fine. This isn't to say everyone or all of them need to change, but some of them need to expect, like, you're not going to expand or garner new interests if you specifically stick only to those things, right? Like I said, Priscilla often states she has seen me play a bunch of JRPGs, but one of the things that turns her away immediately is aesthetic. She sees it and it's just like, absolutely not. Like I'm like the guys look like girls, and that is unappealing to me. Like she wants to play, maybe something with some blood and gore, maybe something that's a little, taking it up a notch, And some of them, even though they do have younger protagonists and stuff, still manage to tell a pretty heavy story, right? It's not that the story itself isn't good, but it's like the way I worded it at one point when I was talking about this topic before, kind of setting it up for everybody, was like, imagine if every Harry Potter was year one. I use that one because everybody kind of knows what Harry Potter is, but he had to find platform 9 and
Oh,
3
that would be
quarters.
atrocious. As much as I love Harry Potter, like him growing up, seeing how the story adapt to him growing up, falling in love, seeing people killed in front of him, all that stuff. Like now,
Exactly. There's way more things that happen that are different throughout the story and that are important for their growth and different points in their lives, where he's no longer that little kid that was locked in his, his aunt's basement or whatever, right? Or his uncle's basement, whatever. Um, like that's the growth that I'm talking about. Like if things stagnated there, then that's the type of stories you would always get, right? So, having the starry-eyed hero protagonist who is, infused with light and the savior, or obviously the other one that we always joke about, the character always has amnesia. Like there's a lot of things that they depend on, um, that are in so many JRPGs that it's kind of become a joke. Everybody everybody jokingly talks about who's the final boss in all JRPGs, and everybody knows the answer to that
God,
question. Exactly.
God,
Yeah, you're fighting God or a god. That's always the running joke. One of the biggest tweets of all time was the Pope sitting, on that ridiculous throne, and somebody said that I felt like the boss music or something was about to start, because it looked like something from JRPGs when you're about to fight like a god or something, and set the major stage for that stuff. So yeah, something to consider. Like I said, my biggest takeaway from this is like some of them definitely need to evolve and tell stories from characters that are of varying ages. And like I said, on occasion we've gotten that over the years where you kind of get a more mature protagonist, but it definitely feels like at some points they depend way too much on like the really really young protagonists or teenagers, in order to use them as a vessel for the story. Um, so that would be something that would be big for me, um, in that regard, kind of changing that. Um, but yeah, Weeb, can you think of anything in your case in maybe your favorite genre, or even if it's not your favorite, other genres, roguelikes, whatever, anything where you're like, man, I wish they would change that one thing and it would like make this so much more enjoyable, or this would be so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, no, don't make it roguelike.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. Yeah. Yeah, don't do that at all, cuz I don't
what
like
did you say?
losing my items. Don't make it
Oh,
roguelike.
Well, it's interesting that you're, because I mean I consider the Yakuza series as a JRPG series, and
Mhm.
I mean that's a perfect example of a series that goes against the grain and just has protagonists that are all old dudes, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's I hear some that they said like they're doing because
Is he breaking up for
um
you? Hold on. Hold on, Weeb.
he is.
Okay,
oh,
hold on. Give it a second and then okay. Try to go again. Let me see if it'll fix itself. You were just kind of botting for a minute.
all right,
Okay, you're good.
still bonding.
No, you're good.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So I think I read somewhere or heard heard an interview somewhere where I think they also said like that this is sort of the reason why they often have these sort of young protagonists, or these basically these characters that look like they work in the host club, like particularly Final Fantasy has that problem, is because they're sort of trying to appeal to the female demographic, and apparently Japanese girls like that kind of character. I kind of turned off if it was an older guy, which is silly, but that seems to be a reason why they often do that. It's interesting. Remember the original Nier that came out in 2 versions, like with protagonists being the original character, the brother, a young
Yeah, I never
guy,
understood that.
and
One is the brother and the other one apparently a father.
yeah, exactly. But
And I
that
played
was
the father version. So, can you explain why?
yes, because that's the one that was released in the West. They changed that because they figured that the younger protagonist that charted better in Japan, but like Western audiences preferred an older protagonist. That's why they changed that. Interesting choice. Like it's unusual. You don't really see that often, but that does seem to be sort of at least a general perception that that's sort of what we prefer versus what they prefer. So that seems to be the reason why they often have these very young protagonists. And again, like you said, Nate, it kind of depends on the game. Like I'm always kind of that's kind of why Final Fantasy games, at least once they switch to 3D and they like when all the protagonists started looking a lot like basically post Final Fantasy 7, when all the protagonists start to look like indeed that they're coming from a boy band, eventually eventually ending up with a game where you literally play as a boy band. Yeah, I mean
Don't remind me.
yeah, no, I will. But that's kind of that to me as well that doesn't appeal to me, like and that's maybe very Square Enixy, like very very typical for Final Fantasy. Of course, you see it in other games, but that's sort of mostly their thing, I think, because and that's kind of the interesting thing that you mentioned, because there are when I think about, there are plenty of JRPGs that don't really fall for those tropes. Like, I mean, the E series is a action RPG, but protagonist, like he is a young protagonist, but because you're playing as the same character but in different, like not chronologically, so every adventure can take place in any time in his adventure. You sometimes play as him as like a teenager, sometimes as an as an adolescent, and it's never really used in a way as, oh, look at this this naive young guy trying to this coming of age story, as you mentioned. It's never really used in any particular way, right? It doesn't really matter that it's just the fact that he's an adventurer that just started his adventure, and kind of, I guess, makes sense that they're using a young protagonist because, well, they're trying to drag this on as long as possible. But yeah, I mean it, and I think the Tales series is also an interesting example, because they also have had protagonists that are somewhat old. They're generally not old, but they do have protagonists that are older, more mature, and don't really. There are perfect examples where you have it, like with Symphonia, but there are also plenty of games like Berseria that are very mature and don't really play with this typical, oh yeah, this is a young naive protagonist that sort of needs to learn the ways of the world and become a hero. I think that game is a perfect example where you're absolutely not a hero, or at least not setting out to be a hero, and actually just out there taking revenge regardless of the cost. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely games that go against the grain there. So that to me is not necessarily trope I see often, but yeah, what kind of tropes? I think the villains is that you mentioned is definitely one that I notice a lot. That there are again perfect examples of exceptions, but very often indeed they're very so typical theatrical over the top villains
Yeah.
whose motivation mostly doesn't make much sense.
So I'm gonna rule the world but destroy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, but though that's kind of maybe a general trope, maybe not necessarily out too, but also with like open world games where as kind of they're when they have like one villain that's sort of the villain from the beginning to the end, they often stretch that villain to the point where it's like you don't really like it ceases to be an interesting character. Like they're constantly they're sort of overusing that villain and constantly trying to, rather than telling a story, they're sort of, oh yeah, we have to stretch the game to a certain length. So you constantly are sort of chasing these like typically Assassin's Creed, where you're just chasing these sort of breadcrumbs. Like every time, oh, they're doing this now, and it's all part of the bigger plot. And when you like string it all together, it's like, yeah, this didn't make any sense. Like there was no way that this big bad villain that was the boss of everyone would be doing the shit that when he had people who could do it for him, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it sort of stretches sort of the suspension of disbelief, where the story is sort of subservient to the gameplay. Which is kind of, I guess, a trope in the sense that I wish they would sort of find more creative ways to do that. I mean, I don't know, if you want to have a great villain and you can't make him compelling throughout the story, then try using them sparsely, try using different villains. There's always ways around that than just stretching it to make it fit the length that you were going for.
Yeah.
Other than that, I guess maybe it's inevitable, but every sequel where you have a skill tree and you play with the same character, they somehow lose their older skills or all their equipment
Yeah, I
in the
hate
next
that.
game. There
Yeah,
there are
I hate
games
that. I hate that in general,
yeah,
even in
yeah,
anime. That's a big issue for me in
yeah.
Demon Slayer. For the record, for people who watch Demon Slayer, uh, the main protagonist frequently just like it's like basically him going Super Saiyan, and then he forgets how to go Super Saiyan in like the very next fight, and it's like, how do you keep forgetting how to go ham? Like it makes no
I'm
sense.
I mean,
He would
Bleach is
go
a
ham all the time. He would, uh,
Omar, I'm talking. Bleach is a perfect example of an anime or manga anime where they really just do this literally with the character. Like every arc, he loses his powers, and then someone has to find a way to get him back. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
ReZero?
what?
ReZero?
Bleach?
Oh, Bleach? You forgot it one time, right?
Not
Nah,
one time.
nah.
He loses it multiple
He's
times.
he's lost his powers multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But there are like at least I like how Kiwami, Yakuza Kiwami did, because he's like, oh yeah, you just came out of jail, you're basically rusty, and so we have to get you back in shape. Like, I respect that they went with that, said, okay, yeah,
At least there's a plot
we
for it.
yeah, I mean, and that sort of is, and I understand like you can't always do that because like uh, in the end, like you have to make a game that's like, if you have all your powers from the beginning, yeah, I mean, where's the fun? Like you're unless you can make a game where you can then somehow evolve that,
Mhm.
which some games do, but it can be quite difficult because like if you have like in the end of the game are so OP and you have so many different abilities, like yeah, okay, if you start a game with the second game with that, like you will be so overwhelmed with that it's not even funny. Yeah, but there are ways to at least deal with that, like God of War 2, right? Where you basically start out as same character of the last game, but then they narratively depower you because you're they betray you. The other gods betray you for your or punish you for your acts, and that makes sense, and that motivates you. That basically motivates you to continue your journey, and that's kind of there are ways around that. But I mean, there's so many games where they just don't even bother explaining it, and like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, now you have to learn all those abilities again that you learned in the last game, and no explanation given why you suddenly can't use them. It's a game, and I get it, but like narrative wise, I would I would love to see more games try to at least find a reason, even if it's sort of tongue in cheek, like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess you got lazy and forgot, all your skills. Like, even that would be enough to at least see that they acknowledge it, the sort of the silliness of that. But yeah, that's kind of a trope that I wish they would at least try to put in a little more effort in doing that. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I think you mentioned, I guess, most of them. That like with you, I'm mostly a JRPG guy, so I
Mhm.
do recognize those, and I recognize that a lot of these games have sort of similar tropes as a typical shonen anime,
Yeah,
where
like
yeah, I
Amnesia.
mean, Amnesia is perfect example. Often very selective amnesia, where they're not even consistent with it.
I remember how to beat
Yeah.
somebody's ass, but I forgot my whole life. But I'm a amazing martial artist apparently.
Oh, yeah, or they know all the all the lore. They know everything that happens in that all the history, but they don't accept the name. That's the only thing
Yeah.
they don't
I
remember.
don't know who I am,
Yeah.
but I remember the place. Yeah. No, all good things. Um, Morgan, what are some of the things in your games or games in general that you have noticed um, that or maybe overused, or you feel like if they changed it, it would make it a better make it better for the genre overall, or anything in that nature? I
Mm-mm.
know you play a lot of different games, so I'm not sure you really mind anything in what you play, but um, anything that you feel could be better.
Like, everything needing to be an RPG, like everything, like every dev having to turn their game into like a mini RPG. Like it has to have some RPG mechanics. I'm like, no, no, it doesn't. Your game doesn't need to be an RPG. You don't have to add a skills tree. You don't have to do these things. You don't have to have repetitive side missions. You can just have like a regular linear game or a story
Okay,
driven game. You don't have to make an RPG, but that's
that
something I'm kind of sick of.
that is fair.
Everything being turned into an RPG,
No, I agree,
um,
and I'm an RPG fan,
like
so
it's the
yeah, I
only
agree.
freaking genre that exists. Um, the uh the friend having the like the friend or secondary important character having to die at the beginning of the game. Like
Yeah,
like
that's a big
that
one.
shit always
You
kills
reminded
me.
me of
Like
that.
the whole, yeah, the
Cyberpunk.
Jackie and Cyberpunk, or what's his face in Borderlands 4. I was just like, okay, here we go with that shit.
Yeah, Borderlands 4 was real
Um
quick. They wasn't playing. They were like 5 minutes. That's all you got.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's such an overused trope. Um the old childhood friend actually being evil, turning evil, and it's having to like fight them.
Yeah. Damn, Omar, are you good, bro?
Damn, somebody have a stroke?
Yeah, my man over there
I
sounded
couldn't play, sorry. I have muted myself.
You didn't, but okay. Trying to think. The having to fight the same boss multiple times. Like, oh man, he's come back and he's even stronger now. Oh, oh, we've learned some things. We have a better weapon set. Oh, we're gonna beat him this time. Oh, nope. He's gone away. He's promised to fight us again. Oh, great, yay!
I call that the Team
And it's just
Rocket
like, oh,
trope. Team Rocket blasting off
yeah,
again, only to be back
blasting off
next
again.
episode.
hmm
No,
Like,
I
oh,
feel it.
they're coming back. Oh, let me guess, you're gonna be the in-game boss.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, Hero said
Um,
soulsification. So he said the same thing to what you were saying with like
yeah,
everything having RPG elements. The
yeah, everything gotta be a
everything
soul like,
being a Souls like, yeah. Ooh, I like that thing from
oh, man,
Souls.
once a one game of a genre takes off, like everybody's like, oh man, I was just so inspired by that game. I just love that game so much. Let me put that in elements of this game that have never had that before and for reasons unknown. I'm gonna put it in this one. Like, not everything needs to be inspiration, man. Sometimes you can just appreciate things, and it's okay. They can just be appreciated in the bubbles that they are in. You don't need to add them into
To
your own
your
art.
own.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just impossible for developers sometimes. They're like a game so much, they're like, man, I really love that mechanic, that game mechanic or that story mechanic. I'm gonna put that in my game. I'm just like, ugh, it's just gonna be tiring because every developer will have the same damn idea. Um, trying to think.
I remember this one. When
Okay.
you- when you're just beat a villain and the protagonists are or when they were like there's two like when they were like in danger and they just take the time. Oh, let's give an exposition dump even though we're about to die. And
Let
when
me
they
explain
knock
my
down the
entire backstory.
yeah, and when they knocked on the villain, and instead of finishing him off, they're just like, they're like fucking around or whatever, and the villain gets away. Like,
The villain
dude,
gets away,
just
yeah.
put a bullet in his head, and it's all over. And
Exactly.
you're and probably the villain afterwards is gonna kill a couple of your friends, and you're like, dude, like you could have finished it there and then, you know.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah, that's
huge
one of the
plot
worst.
device.
Just feeling the need to give that, that hero speech before you kill somebody. Like, bruh, we could have ended this already, man. And like, come on, just do it. Just end him. Like you said, put a bullet in his head and let's move on. But it happens every single time. Um, trying to think of anything else. I'm tired of Sony's sad dad narrative. No, no, but uh I don't know, the tendency to just try to make everything open world. Like I'm getting over the open world thing, man. Like I just want some good linear games, but everybody wants to make it bigger, make it better, and we're gonna make it, you know, that this we had a vision. We're just gonna make this game open world now. We're gonna give you so much more, and I'm like, you know, more is not always better. All
Agree.
right, just because we have more to do does not equate to a game being great. Like I don't know. I feel like
Final
some
Fantasy
devs kind
VII
of.
remake.
Oh, geez.
Or Rebirth specifically. Sorry,
Me
Rebirth.
rebirth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean
was a
Rebirth.
rebirth.
Good God,
Yeah.
that whole area drove me crazy.
Right. Yeah. They get lost in the sauce sometimes of their own creation, and they don't know when to reel it back. And it just lose the vision of what the game was. But yeah, I think that's probably all I can think of right now. But yeah.
Okay, no, that is fair. Those are some really good ones. Um, Omar, I know everybody said a lot, uh,
No,
but
but yeah, I have a lot to say.
do you have any in particular that you wish they would stop doing? And oh, before you go, I definitely agree with that one, Morgan. The whole everything needs to be open world because clearly we've seen plenty of games where that is a mistake, uh, and definitely some people need to be comfortable with linearity or linear wide gameplay, and not necessarily making stuff open world, because it honestly it has seemed to cause a lot more issues now than lately. Oh, and the other thing in that vein that I dislike is make your own fun uh
Oh, fuck
approach.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate the make your own fun approach to a lot of games where they're like,
Oh God, yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't. I would disagree with that statement because you love Bethesda games, and that's really only that's the literal mechanic that they base their games on.
It is not.
Make
You're
your
just
own
a
fucking
Bethesda
fun.
hater. Shut up.
I'm not a Bethesda hater. I wouldn't hate Bethesda if they made a good game, but they're incapable of
Oh.
doing that. So yeah.
No,
Well,
but
Listen,
well,
I'm just
yeah.
saying,
you should
nobody who
write
likes Bethesda ever says anything about like the story or like the characters. It's always just about exploration. I just like being in a wasteland, or I just like being in space. Like that's literally it. They never say anything about like any depth to the actual game. It's just the surface level shit. Like
See,
I just like
see,
exploring.
that's
I
not the
like the
case for
world
me.
building. I
In
like the quests.
Fallout, I love tons of the characters and the way
And
that
which
they're
Fallout are we
integrated
talking about
into the
here?
worlds. I mean, I like Fallout. I like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas,
Oh,
even Fallout
yeah.
4.
See how we had to go back to like 360 to talk about that?
I said all of them though. Like three New Vegas
Mm.
and 4. I liked all of them.
Listen, listen. Let's be real. Nobody ever is a fan of Fallout for the damn story. Like nobody gives a damn about that story.
I
Most people
love the
couldn't tell you what the
story.
Fallout story was.
I can.
Listen, and you were one of the few. I'm talking about the majority of Fallout fans. You ask them what the hell Fallout was about, and they'll just be like, listen, I just like exploring the world, man. I just like the wasteland. You know what I'm saying? I just like to go out and just shoot things, bro. And I'm just like, okay,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I'm not gonna
That's
take it away
fine.
from you that a
But
lot of people don't explain it that way because they do. So I'm
mhm.
not. Yeah.
I mean, like there's people who have like hundreds of hours in Skyrim
Doing
and they haven't even
bullshit.
beat the main story.
Yeah, doing absolutely
Yeah,
fuck
they
all.
couldn't even
So
tell you what the
yeah,
hell the story was about. Like they
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. You're not wrong.
They don't care.
I've always hated people playing it that way. For the record, like that always drove me crazy. I was like, how are you not playing the game? Like I was like, the characters, the story, the plot that happens with the factions, being part of the Dark Guild and turning into an assassin and all these other things, and I'm just like, what do you mean you haven't done that? So yeah, I agree. Which brings
Mhm.
me to one of my favorite points of all time, which is not a trope of games, but something that people do, that people think there's no thing. You can actually play a game the wrong way. People think that's not people a lot like when people say there's no wrong questions or there's no bad questions. No, people can play a game the wrong way and I have witnessed people do it, and then they typically hate the game because they played it the wrong way. So yeah, that is something people think is a thing. But yeah, go ahead, Omar.
Okay, so for starters, punishing people for what you call it, focusing too much on the story and not doing side quests. For example, like Borderlands, I tell him to get the best out of everything. You're better off booking it to the main story first, and then when you're level 50, do all the side mission and everything in between. Which what I'm doing right now with my brother. Something like that. Another thing, and this is the biggest thing, and you gave um, and you gave an opinion, a few examples, but my biggest is stupid NPCs. Not NPC, main characters. Like, excuse you, why are you letting the big boss leave? Why are you underestimating the big boss after he literally showcasing what he can do? And
Oh,
this is
dude,
why I
you
love.
haven't. They're constantly underestimating the villain and then just letting him get away for no good reason. Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
like this is why I
Yeah.
love 33 so much. Zero fucking stupid main characters. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
despite everything
everybody
that
took
they
Renoir
happened
real
to them,
serious when they figured him out.
everything felt real.
Yeah, the reactions felt real inappropriate. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good way to say that. Inappropriate reactions from characters that don't fit the narrative. Yeah,
Another thing, in JRPG, we need blood, we need gore, we need death. I'm sorry, we are grown up. We used to play JRPG like that, but we are grown up. Like, and it's not like JRPG never had death. Kafka, famously in Final Fantasy VI, literally murdered an entire village by doing what? Poisoning the water. The river, I meant to say. And because it was cartoonish and what you call it, it was okay to do it, but now all of a sudden we got an okay Final Fantasy, which is 16, that had phenomenal death. Not gonna lie. Um, I do want more. They stepped it.
Well, hold on, Omar. You say because there's two different things: the gore and death. Because I think plenty of
Gore, death, and blood. Yeah, this is what I said. There was. And
yeah,
yeah, but
I
yeah.
want.
I,
I
I
just.
agree
I
with you.
there,
just.
There's
there's
quite a bit
plenty.
I
with
just
death,
want.
but
I
yeah,
just
there's
Yeah,
want
definitely not a lot
pretty
of
mature.
blood.
common. Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
want JRPG to become for the mature audience. That's what I'm trying to explain.
yeah,
We we have had way too much Zakiri stories, like the personas, the high school, the this, that. Like, this is why characters like Aaron are beloved. Like, they are grown up, they act grown up. You don't see Aaron from Final Fantasy X making a mistake a noob character makes in a turn by JRPG. Another thing, find a way to streamline your story at the beginning. Like, if you're telling me that the demo for Trails is 3 hours, I'm
6
pretty
hours.
sure 6 hours. I'm pretty sure a few hours of it is not gonna be talking and interaction with each other.
Yeah,
Another thing, and I hate it with a passion. Stop forcing me to walk when I'm interacting with an NPC. NPC should be running, not walking. Why you walking?
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
if you
I prefer when they match my pace. Like if I want to walk, they'll walk. If I want to run, they'll run. But like yeah, if we're
no,
on a
I'm talking
mission,
specifically
we'll do
talking
that.
about NPCs that are giving you a side quest,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and
You're either
they
you're in a movement pattern with them though, and it forces you
yeah.
to walk because they're talking. But yeah, there's been good examples of that where they can run or walk, depending on what you do, and
In
it lets
Borderlands,
you set the pace. Yeah,
my
Borderlands
side
does that.
character is running,
Yeah,
which is again a lot of the issues that I have with JRPG have been destroyed by 33. So, and also, what you call it, Metaphor. I'm not gonna discount Metaphor. Metaphor had a lot of death and gore and a grown-up adult story. Like, I do believe that we need to get away from the kids getting power up. Now have adults getting power up. Have adults wrestle with their emotions about the power up that they are using. Have and another thing is, and this is maybe me, but uh, doing side missions and getting trash shit for it, especially after doing a significant amount of side mission, and all of you're getting is okay, here is the cookie and go away now. Like, so you're telling me I scaled my Mount Everest and killed this behemoth only to get a cookie? Game developers, why? What do you think our time is? Like, yeah, we play for the trophy, we enjoy trophies, but if I kill Simon, I'm expected to something beast out of it, which I actually got.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Appropriately rewarding you for the time, making making the time adjusted accordingly for the time and effort that you put into whatever the quest is.
This, another thing, and this is just my opinion, Metrovania should always have damage numbers on their, what you call it.
So you want it as an option, or you want it forced?
Sorry?
You want it as an option, or you think it should be mandatory?
No, I have no issue for it being an option.
Okay, but you think it
People
should be an
are
option? Gotcha.
okay to remove it if they don't like it. That's simple for me. I don't mind that.
Okay.
But at least make it an option. Good idea. Another thing is when it comes to Metrovania, the ability to respec your skills. Given the ability to do so. It's just in any other every game. Like respecing is fun.
So
It
for the
it
record,
forces
I'll
it.
I'll have you know, Morgan literally called that you were gonna bring that up, and when she saw the respec machine in Borderlands, she said, "Oh, here lies Omar's favorite machine in this game, and it's the
I
respec
haven't
machine."
used it once, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, but it's ironic though, because if it wasn't there, then then you'd be like,
Oh yeah, no. Then we would have real true issues.
yeah.
Um,
Are you good?
yeah. But yeah, no respect. Is important in my opinion because you are like people expect you. Developers expect you to restart your game over and try a different approach with a different build and everything like that. But why?
Yeah.
Um, why can't I just respec? Why is it so wrong to respec? Another thing, fall damage should be a thing of the past. I'm having a lot more fun when my character falls by accident and I don't take fall damage. I love Spider-Man 2 for it. Like, I never understood the notion that, oh yeah, fall damage should hurt. Especially because you are aside, because you're literally like, you are ruling the industry, ruling everything. You are the all powerful. Like, you shouldn't be having an issue with fall damage. That's another thing for me.
So you mean
And
specifically
another
in
thing,
games where you feel it doesn't make sense, not that fall damage should
yeah,
be removed from every game, because some
yeah,
games
yeah,
it
yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely, absolutely. Unless you're doing horror or something, but for me, like for example, in action, not action adventure, like sandbox games, most of the time, sometimes they have you take fall damage. I'm like, why? Just like for example, I'm playing Demon X Machina. My car took fall damage. I'm like, okay, cool, but my character didn't. My character was Picky Bello, a-okay, so I was happy about that. But yeah, when it comes to turn-based, I truly wish they would do that. I've said it for Borderlands. Um, um, I wish you could turn off money or XP. Like, I just want to farm for your weapon, dude. I am like innate. You experienced it. How many times did you farm to get the Hellfire in Borderlands?
I mean, it was about 40 or 50 runs, so yeah.
And how many times it took me and my brother? I had a communication with you about it. We were talking while I was doing it. How long it took me?
I don't remember the time, but it wasn't short.
It wasn't short at all. My brother had to go to sleep while I was still farming. Um, I don't. Yeah. So to me, it truly feels like if you are putting legendary behind uh um enemy behind bosses like that, give me the ability
To pick which
mm,
ones would you get.
to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Especially if
wish
you
they
have
would
a
give you
loot
the
drop.
ability to choose.
Another thing, and this is strictly games like Borderlands, game like that. I truly wish you could uh, give me the ability to strictly focus on my build. Like I'm trying to stream it, so I just have fun with the game. I don't want to farm for I'm not exaggerating, for 2 hours just to get something that's not good and get
So for
screwed
clarity, you
over.
mean the things that drop for you, especially in a game like Borderlands, where
Yeah,
where
like
loot is
my
specific
build,
to you,
my build.
then you don't
I'm
want stuff dropping to benefit other characters because it
Yeah, like
makes yeah.
if like my legendary for me, I can't use every legendary. I will not make use of every legendary. My legendary, my skill is 3 is blue. Give me the ability to choose. I want blue legendary drop, something like that. For example,
Yeah, it's something you would prefer more games to adopt. And some games definitely do it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
it's frustrating to me because Borderlands is doing a lot of things that is pushing the industry forward. Which I saw someone said, so in Borderlands you have the ability to fast travel to your teammate. Every game should have that, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. So it's just that moment like that where you question yourself, why developers go a step forward and then 10 steps backward? This is this is me. Like I know you have no issue with it. You love being a whale, but I don't love being overpowered. Believe it or not, I love being overpowered from a
I mean
weapon I
that's
earn.
more like a
I
thing.
don't.
That's not a thing per
I mean,
genre.
like for example, if I killed a difficult boss and I got a phenomenal weapon out of it, that made me OP. I
Yeah,
like
but
that.
hold on, I'm specifying though. You're not the thing are things that are a genre or in a genre that you dislike. Being OP
I
is not a
mean, this
genre.
count as well. This count as well for Borderlands. I just want to farm. I don't want to level up. I don't. I want.
Yeah, but
I
okay,
want.
wait, you're not listening. You're explaining an
Yeah.
overall issue you have with gaming, not a genre specific thing, which is the topic. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
You're
but
getting
okay
far
then.
from the
Genre
topic.
JRPG.
Yeah.
JRPG. When I need to farm for money, I don't want to level up. Like that, I'm being legit with JRPG turn based, especially turn based. I don't want to. I want to enjoy
You want
the
the
again.
ability
I
to
don't.
turn off one and benefit from the other.
Yeah, I just want to give me like would it not help people in general if you can turn if you have so much money you don't have you don't know what to do with it. Give me more XP. If you are on the level that you're comfortable with but you need the new gear, give me more money. Like, why is it so difficult to implement something like that? If why developers go out of their way to implement what you call it? Um, I'm not talking about the color blindness or whatsoever. No, those are amazing. I'm talking about unlimited weapons, unlimited ammo, see-through walls. You know, for the scrub, they work on that, but they don't work on making the game actual fun, in my opinion. But yeah, to me, it feels like gaming could be a lot more in general. In general, um, yeah. Another thing is, and this is, but this is just me. I like when skills are always with you and not something that you use one time only, and you need to rely on it online via drop or from a shop. Think narrowed arm in DMC5. One of the reasons why I didn't play that game because I hate the fucking concept. If I am leveling up my character, I want his skill to be with me all the time, not rely on it to drop on the ground to make use of his arm. Um, but yeah, all by all, I seriously focus on JRPG because that's my bread and butter. But I'm pretty sure for every genre there are stuff that we can talk about. Oh, and last thing, why in every JRPG the cast always must get arrested? Why do they always fall uh, through into the biggest, into most stupidest plan? Or what you call it? A trap? Like, it's a trap, right? Yeah, but you still fall for it. I like the escape part, but I don't like how slow it is to lose all your gears only to get them back. Oh, and one last thing, stop making me play a character that have most of the abilities that I'm gonna get later in the game. Make me surprised when I get these abilities. Don't give it to me on the from in the get go and then take them away. I'm talking every time, every what you call it. Turn-based have it, JRPG have it, action have action games have it in general. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
action
it.
games do that a lot. Yeah, I
Sorry?
see. I said yeah, action games do that a lot. I see what you're saying, Warwana.
Yeah, like
I think more so the frustration in this case in the game is that so I think what you're saying could work. I think the problem in Borderlands in particular that he's talking about is like an imbalance, right? So like one of the things that we were talking about while we were fighting is like I've gotten a ton of I've gotten a ton of different things in the game, but not necessarily for my class.
yeah.
So that could be an issue.
Or the loot that I want to drop is not dropping for me. Instead, I'm getting trash drop that I don't want to use. It's like, especially when they made legendary drop so rare.
Well, no, like one of the
I don't.
issues we were talking about is like I have a bunch of class mods for other characters that I'm not playing
Yeah,
that and I don't actually have a class mod for myself yet because class
this
mods
is
keep dropping that are not for me.
this is a true story, eh? Real story between me and my brother that happened. I made a video of it, and he made a video of it. We killed the vault boss, the very first one. He dropped a class mod for him on my end, and uh, on my brother end, literally dropped a class mod for me. What happened? We were all laughing and joking. So I dropped his class mod and he dropped my class mod. I picked up my class mod and his class mod disappeared. So he locked out of a legendary now. Not only did he waste his time, but he also didn't even get the fucking loot that I dropped him. So to me, like, this could have all been prevented by simply him getting his drop and me getting my drop. And what I want to say, the notion of I
read that already. That's what I was
yeah.
pertaining to.
To me, I disagree with that because we
Again,
are already
read his latter part though. He did not realize what you
yeah,
were
he has
focusing
only 7
on
out of 10.
when
Yeah,
you were
yeah, okay, that makes
so
sense.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
no,
get
7 out of 10,
what he is
I am not
stating.
expecting legendaries. I get it. I
No,
get it.
what he is stating though, when he originally said the good drops thing, he's stating like something like a Diablo where you get like a really nice staff for your character, but it's not your build. Then you might build into it and change your playstyle, and it helps you discover something else. But that's why I said y'all were talking about two different things.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But make it an option though. Especially when you have gazillion, what you call it?
Well, it's definitely
weapons.
right now. Even if it's not an option, it's definitely imbalanced because
Yes,
you
there's a
shouldn't. I've
significant
never played a Borderlands game, gotten to the point where I could get class mods and not had one. So yeah, it's definitely like it's actually broken right now, is what I believe. So yeah, that's a different issue.
Another thing, can developers please stop focusing on only one character or two characters that are super OP and all the other characters are trash? Make every character exciting to play? Is that difficult? Also, can you guys stop with nerfing in single player games? I'm ranting now. I'm stuck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
You're good, but yeah, it's definitely a bunch of things that can definitely be annoying in some of the games and some of the things that we do love and some of the genres that we do love. But yeah, with that, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and get these people to dinner or to bed. Weeb,
I need my
how
dinner,
are you, man?
so yeah, I feel you.
And Weeb, yeah, not how are you, but well, how are you holding up? And where can the people find you, sir?
Yeah, I'm past the point where I was falling asleep. So,
What are you kidding? You're gonna stay with us afterwards. No, I have the feeling he's gonna go. It's over for him.
It's over. Yeah, no. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Different Rhizome. Same for Blue Sky. Yeah, great show as always, and of course, Otter Nation.
Otter Nation. Omar, where can the people find you, sir?
So shout out to everyone that came through. Hit that like button, share the team out. You can find me at Caravan_Job on Twitter and the Vitamin G podcast. Wish, not gonna lie, I'm curious if we're gonna continue because we have not been on for close to a month now. Everyone is busy and life happening and stuff like that. But yeah, when we go live, we will tweet it out. It's 8 p.m. every Monday, 8 to 10 time. Hit that like button and yeah, see you next week. Which we're gonna cover, I think, is Tokyo Game Show, and maybe if we have time, talk about how Sony wanna focus on single player again.
Yep, and of course Morgan. I think she had to slide out real quick, so you can find her at Chill Bandit on Twitter. But realistically, you could just find her playing Triangle Strategy on her PlayStation profusely because she is clearly loving that game. But yeah, again, you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at The Real Innate. Right now, focusing on trying to get through some of these games while
You gotta!
yeah.
Because next week or in 13 days, So 2 week GOG peyote is dropping.
Yeah, it's nothing but games constantly dropping, which all of you know definitely by all the variety of things that everybody's playing in the chat. I know Henry was playing Hell Is Us. I know some of the people are playing Chronos and New Dawn. Some people are playing through Borderlands like us as well. Trails in the First. I know Viper said he picked that up. Um, so yeah, everybody's playing something, man. But yeah, thank you for everybody that came through. It was a lot of fun getting everybody in here. We had up to like 11 or 12 people in chat at one point, just really going and participating, which we love that. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and head up out of here. Otter Nation.
Oh, Nation.
Other donation